Ogre was able to walk in with another sentry and then take out the one that was dewarding. So this
safe lane doesn't have a peel mechanism, so there's no stuns. It just means that you get walked down. And unfortunately for Xnova, he just couldn't really do anything about it, and Amorph is... Ajit is just standing there going, well, I did my best. You know, I'm morally supporting you in your time of need.
Hey, Hake even +2 armor with that Basilius?
I guess so.
There you go.
Well, the Invis Ogre up here with Mushi in the mid lane, and Nana doesn't look like he knows what's happening, but...
I mean, Afu is also standing on the other side of the river, too.
With the Blightstone, dude.
Yeah, he actually put the ward down, so he sees the courier, but I don't think he's going to go for it, yeah.
Keeping it cool, calm, and collected. I think this is a really good answer, too, from Fnatic. Like, identifying that they could punish this safe lane for a little while, at least, before there was any other rotations. And, you know, already causing the Morph lane to have a little bit of a problem is they have jumped upon the Necrophos. Body Flocks are there as well. They have the Fire Blast, trying to find the kill on Nana. They do turn it back around. Mushi, Fairy Fire. They find the kill.
So I know we beat the level 1 death, level 1 Roche to death already, but that's like a verifier that Negro doesn't have. That's a Windlace that Sankey normally doesn't have, even when you play the support position. I mean...
But don't you think that if he just walks away, he lives?
But no, I think it's more so that the Fnatic team chose a very good time to initiate. They did it right after a death pulse, so there was not that burst heal until the second one came out. I don't think he could have actually left though, because there was the slow, the ignite slow on him.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd have to watch the replay to be sure, but I think he actually just got really greedy.
Or he wanted to return kill his
I think he wanted to kill Mushi and then like trade his life, because
he was close.
If he dies and he gets solo EXP for Mushi and then the support gets experience for him, it's still better for the mid, because he would have been like level 5 after that. But yeah, hard to say.
Well, early laning stage now, 4 minutes into it, and it feels like the laning stage is starting to even out a little bit as Demon's going to TP out of there. Is there any team that you feel like is... Well, Kangaroo also going to TP out, doesn't get brought down by Raven. Is feeling happier with the laning stage, or is it still kind of even across the board?
I think if you're Fnatic, you're super ecstatic about the laning stage. Axe is leading the net worth, or last, excuse me, and he's not even jumping, right? He's actually slowing down the Morphling's farm.
Ohio is just owning this lane.
Normally, you know, earlier I mentioned I did a piece of a Morphling player. I only seen him do well when he's getting free farm. This game, he's not getting free farm, so... You know, we're going to early Blink dominate this game, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, he's going Vanguard, I think. Or actually, in this game, do you go Vanguard or you just go Hood?
He already has the Ring of Health, so...
Yeah, but I mean, it still could be Hood, yeah. Because it's DS, Sandking, Necro, like, there's so much max damage, actually. I think both items are pretty good. If he had somebody stacking Ancients, I'd say Vanguard maybe, and then into Blink Dagger and Pipe after. But if he's not going to go for the stacking play, then I think that it might just be a Hood.
We'll have to see which way he goes for it. I think that it also depends on how these next couple of minutes of the laning stage go as well. Like, if they really start, you know, owning, then he could just go for a Vanguard and take the whole enemy jungle if he wants to. But surged up Ahu coming into the top lane. They want to make something happen here. Oh my god, but Pugna has a haster in.
Yo, he's got that Blightstone, though. This is the play.
This might go really bad for Warriors Gaming if Mushi comes in at the right time. Battle Hunger already onto Ajit. The wraparound is there. They get the call. Gonna start to do the damage. The Decrepify is there, but they don't have the follow-up yet. Already committing the life drain. So Afu should be able to get out of here. Nether Blast still chasing. Burrow Strike is going to be off cooldown, but no more mana. Uses the South. Brought down to 11 HP. Heal from Dazzle, but it was never going to be enough. That's unfortunate.
That was a nice heal. He doesn't actually have any Grave.
No?
I find it a bit odd that he skills Poison Touch in this lane. I mean, when he died to Ohio, he was level 1, right? Or was he level 2?
I think he had heal at level 1. He took it for the Roche.
Yeah, he took heal, but I think that
he was still level 1 when he died to Roche.
Yeah.
Nana? Alright.
I mean, I understand not getting heal as Dazzle in that lane because Your
You mean
Morphling. Okay, yeah, you're great. Your Morphling shouldn't be that out of position, right? Xnova gets called here. Ohio. He does have access to his level 6, but the heal bomb's going to push him back. And now Ogre might be in a little bit of trouble.
They're going to keep the pressure on. Fairy Fire is there. Waveform forward. And Ajit, out of mana. You need to be careful there, buddy.
He's like insanely tanky. He don't care. Ogre don't care. He's got the 3 best items in the game. Fairy Fire, Raindrops, and a Windlace.
And he's still going to suicide, dude. Figure that.
It might be quicker to walk back to base, given how tanky he is.
Sand King trying to make a go here.
Ravens giving him the ukes.
The creeps are heading off all over the place. Do they run into him? He has Omni Slash available. All right, Afu's gone. See you later.
I think when you play support Sand King, the 1 point Sandstorm is...
But he's level 3, right? So he'd be level 4 no matter what before Sandstorm.
I guess so. I guess you wouldn't get at level 2 Sandstorm.
Yeah, because you want the range on Burrow, and 1 point in the Caustic is actually still very valuable.
It's great harass.
So we talked about this. Ohio does opt to go back for the Vanguard. This laning stage has gone tremendously for them, and 4-0 start going to start to pressure this tier 1 tower and take it down, and then can probably just take out the whole enemy jungle.
I think he's actually better off just staying in this top lane, keep on pressuring. I know he gets probably a little bit more
He's going to kill
farm.
the tower.
Yeah. You just don't give Morphling any space to breathe.
I mean, Mushi's coming up here too, so even if they don't kill Ajit, they're going to kill the tower.
Oh my god, they get the call. He's in trouble. He's just going to drop. Calling Blade down, and Afu going to try and make something of it. I don't know if it's going to be nearly enough, though.
That's a level 8x. I mean, that's actually insane. Like, if he gets a Blink Dagger in like the next, 3 or 4 minutes, given the rate at which he's farming, this tier 1 goes down. In a Warriors Gaming, they don't necessarily have the best team at playing from behind.
And Sand King's still stuck on boots and Blightstone. It's a rough life.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, the Blightstone commitment on the Sand King was...
Yeah.
That's pretty all in. But, you know, sometimes you go for a play and it just doesn't work out.
Here's the question. Do you do it again next game?
Oh. God, yes. Do it twice. So Nana?
He's going to end up dropping there. And again, just Mushi able to bully in this mid lane. His Pug has really looked good throughout this whole set of the qualifiers.
They actually have a really clever way of drafting the Pugna because they always either 4th or 5th pick it, right? And they usually have a support that deals a pretty good sum of magical damage but also has a disable. So like we saw the Nyx and the Pugna before, we saw the Ogre and the Pugna. Just another hero who synergizes well with the Crepify to get enough burst damage to be able to kill the enemy mid. Like that's one thing that Pugna usually doesn't offer is kill potential, but it seems like Fnatic have found a way to draft killing lanes on mid, even having a Pugna.
The thing about this is that his playstyle on the Pugna is just super different of what you expect Pugna to be. You expect him to be like that Dragon Knight, just sit on mid, keep on sieging that mid tower, eventually get it down. But every time I see Fushi play Pugna, he's playing like a punk. Like he's just running around lane to lane, looking for kills, looking for ganks, and it's working.
Well, looks like Ohio is threatening again. This is a very big smoke gank movement out now, and they don't have any points in vacuum, do have wall. They're going to surge him forward now. Apu catches onto the axe, but Light Rain's going to keep him alive. There's going to be the Fire Blast onto him as well. The dunk is gone.
Oh, and the dunk give Mushi's enough movement speed to walk away from the Morphling that just waved on him, so... Alright, this is not going well.
Do they want to keep going? He has Reaper, but it's a raindrop on the axe.
Ohio is not afraid.
Yeah, he really is. He's massive.
Oh my god, Omni Slash on the backline. Did find Xnova. Raven is very deep there.
That blinding light that pushes everybody backward. We have a Surge, Burrow Strike. It looks like Demon's going to get the first Reaper. No, they don't even actually commit it for him. I guess there's only plus 10 seconds of respawn time.
Yeah, it's a good call not to Reaper him.
Yeah.
Because now Fnatic can no longer pursue the fight. Did they actually get a D-ward here? I don't think anybody has detection right now.
How did both Raven and Demon get there? Did Demon just walk there and summon?
They walked through the jungle, yeah, and I guess he got
So did they both walk through it, or just Demon walk through?
I'm sure that he recalled him. Yeah,
I mean, his ult's on cooldown, so maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but that was pretty YOLO.
Like, look at the mid tower right now. This is what triggers me about the Pugna by Mushi. The tower's like 4 HP.
But he's playing against Necrophos.
I guess. I don't know. You just spam that blast and you could get the tower down anybody. But again, he plays it very differently from the standard Pugna.
Well,
yeah,
that's working.
True.
That's the thing, is that if it's not working, you can definitely flame him, but he's
it's not really it's not really a flame, it's just more like normally you see
it's
the
different.
hero blow up the tower. But I think in this particular hero matchup, when you're playing against Necrophos, the hero who has infinite sustain, Like, he can just get mana and health back at any given point as long as he's hitting creeps. And the only way that Pugna hits your tower is if he's able to out-shove you. And I think Necrophos is on relatively equal terms in regards to controlling the lane as a Pugna, so that's probably one of the primary reasons that it's not dead.
Oh my god.
The other one is I think the safe lane tier 1 is like equally important in this matchup.
I just looked at the net worth right now, 7,500 at 11 minutes in. Fnatic, they haven't looked back at all, and we said that there's not a ton of comeback potential, but I mean, with levels, can you fight your way out of this if you're Warriors game in Unity? Do you just need to maybe get that first big item up on Necro?
The thing about sustain lineups when you have to get like the early timing on the mech and the early timing on the heal is you need to outscale the enemy team's damage with your sustain. And if you're playing from behind against an axe, your shallow grade isn't really going to be of much use. And the amount of damage that they have right now, because they're ahead so much in gold, it's outscaling them, which is the biggest problem. If they're going to make a comeback, they need like Blink Sand King. They're going to need Reapers on targets and like really good coordination. It's not to say that it's impossible, but you know, Aja right now, he's looking at Treads and an Aquila. It's not really like the smoothest item transition that you're ever going to see. And he, along with the Necro, are pretty much their two late game securing heroes. And right now, they're not finding much space to work with.
With that said, though, if Ohio makes a pretty bad jump where he's kind of too deep and he doesn't grab too many heroes,
he can get wrecked.
Yeah, I can see the heals actually allowing WG to get that quick Reaper kill against him. And that's a lot of net worth on a hero that has to initiate for the team. So I wouldn't count WG out just yet, but I think it's actually up to Fnatic to make those mistakes.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if they're going to be able to make it happen. Darkseer certainly needs to get that farm on and finish off the mechanism ASAP. But it's pretty tough when the Axe just keeps on zoning you out of... I mean, even your own jungle, you saw how quickly they were just dismantling it, and they've got wards that are scouting out the movements from Fnatic, but they just can't do anything about it. Like, even the Ogre is so tanky, they can't bring him down. Double windlace.
You know, they're trying to reestablish control of their jungle, and that part is very important as well. If you don't have, like, at least your own jungle and your control as this kind of lineup, you're in a real bad way. Gonna see a blink from Ohio here, just getting away from Nana and Kangaroo. But I guess they want to turn it around, right?
Yeah, they're pulling in Raven. Well, and they do have eyes on Nana. If he's not careful, he might just go down here. Blink call a little bit off the market. They do get the Omni Slash, switches over to a couple. The Crepify, going to keep him alive a little bit longer, and it looks like with that, Warriors Gaming might think about even turning onto them. You need to get out of here.
Those are kind of jumps that I'm talking about where, you know, I don't think Fnatic needed to commit that hard, especially with the... If you missed the call, the Omni wasn't going to get anything done, honestly.
Well, I mean, if it was level 2 Omni, maybe, but he's only level 10 right now.
Yeah.
He got, what, like 2 bounces, and then he went back to the Darkseer, or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, Raven's definitely been the very aggressive member of this team that's been seeing him just play that like super aggro style, either with the Juggernaut or whoever he happens to play on. And it kind of balances out a little bit more from... I don't know if I would say that Mushi is not aggressive, but less aggressive.
I mean, that guy walked to the safe lane of Warriors Gaming 3 times this game already and tried to fight people. I'd say that's pretty aggressive for a hero that has 1.2 strength gain.
I say Raven's more of the solid rock on the team where he's aggressive, but he's very controlled. Like you look at Raven and you know what to expect from the game. He's not gonna free away a lot of kills.
Yeah, he seems to be... Like, even that Omni Slash, even though it was a low percentage kill, it was never putting him in any danger.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, sitting here 15 minutes, and it does feel like they've at least evened the ship a little bit. It's not completely capsizing, but we'll have to see if they can actually find a solid fight. What do you think it is? Like, do Warriors Gaming just wait for the turnaround, like the counter-initiation play, or can they be aggressive in their own right?
Without the Sanking Blink, no. So they have to, again, wait for a Fnatic mistake, which I don't know about this Veil choice. I think Veil is actually very good on Necrophos if you have the lockdown to set you up for that combination. But again, you're only looking at Sanking to do that for you. Andy, do you think it's like a Veil game?
I think it's like one of the better items to make a comeback. It's not as all in as Dagon, I feel. It gives you like pretty reasonable stats, tanks up the hero, in addition to also giving you like Veil plus Epi. Like that still is a tremendous amount of damage, even against a team where, you know, Fnatic might have pipe by the first time that Sanking even has Blink, given the rate that Ohio's farming. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. It's a great item if you could get the combo off, but if you don't, then...
I'm just thinking of like, let's say instead of getting a Veil, you go for something like a Yules that could supplement your farm, maybe a Force Staff that could help yourself or your team.
I mean, if he buys Yules, he dies in a blink call. Like,
that's fair. I think he dies in a blink call regardless.
But the Veil at least gives him more chance to live.
Sure.
And it also gives him more offensive potential in the way of dealing damage. And we talked about how, you know, their lineup is built mainly around sustain. It's not really that they have, like, crazy damage output. Nova, you are...
Hey, they're pretty far forward.
You are crazy.
Nova is going to get called, and yeah, Grave probably isn't going to save him this time around.
He's not spinning at all. Grave TV.
Well, yeah, he gets fire blasted, and he's gonzo. They're also going to move in now, trying to find a secondary kill onto Kangaroo, but not going to be able to get him. Darkseer was doing a really good job of continuing up really efficient farming. He was like getting the double Ion Shell onto the creeps as he was simultaneously stacking the enemy's jungle and then clears out the camp. It feels like they're doing a good job of not putting themselves into too dangerous of positions and not finding those pickoffs that you normally imagine with an Axe getting a, you know, what was it, 13-minute blink dagger or whatever.
That was on top of a Vanguard, too.
Right.
That wasn't even just a naked blink, so... Yeah, Ohio's pretty much just ran away with the game so far. I'd say if, you know, you're Warriors Gaming, you look at this and you say, let's compare what our respective offlaners did for us. And you look at Ohio's presence in the game, and then you look at the, you know, the Sand King and the Darkseer, who... The Darkseer finished like a 16 and a half, 17-minute mech.
Yep.
That's, like, incredibly slow.
Are you guys surprised at all by the fact that Fnatic isn't grouping up as 5, given their huge lead and starts slamming at towers with Pugna?
I mean,
I feel like they're giving away some leeway to this Morphling, who, if you look back to the CS chart, he's actually even. In fact, he's kind of going back to like the top position. So,
but you still have to take objectives to win the game.
That's what I mean. Like, they should be taking objective as 5.
But they don't actually need to commit 5, though. That's the thing. Like, look at how much farm like Ohio and Mushi had between the two of them. They pretty much just walk to a lane. I mean, you could even supplement Raven in instead of one of the other 2 heroes, but I think, you know, of the 3, Ohio at least wants to be there. Demon summoning Ohio here, looking for a potential call. Not going to get it, though. Looks like Ajit had a replicate out. But I still think it's fine if Fnatic aren't grouping up as 5, because you can very easily fall into this trap where the Morphling starts split farming, you're 5-manning down a lane, and you start losing tier 1s. Like,
I guess the ultimate point I want to make is that they should be taking advantage of the lead and doing something with it.
Well, I mean, they are doing something. Look at they're pressuring the map. Like, Warriors Gaming right now are sitting together as 4, and...
Well, this might actually be that timing that Warriors Gaming are looking for. You have Blink Epi, not level 2 yet on the Sand King, but they also have Mechanism. It looks like they're going to go in, they cancel it, but he does still get it off. At the end of the day, Ohio taking some more damage. They Burrow Strike through. Only connects onto one. That is going to be a dead Axe, and it looks like with the Ami Slash going through, Nana dropping low, but not dead as yet. They got a lot of heals, keeping their buddies alive, but the Pugna Ward might dissuade them from going any further. Jumper, Burrow Strike connects onto 2. Well, Necrophos is dropping low, but not dead yet. The fight continues, and they are going to probably kill off that Sand King. He does go down. AU turned upon now as well. 2 dead for Fnatic already. Can Warriors Gaming take this any further? Ajit needs to run away. Raven hits pretty hard. I think that with that, Warriors Gaming just need to back out, but Raven wants to chase them down, and he is on top of Nana. Chase, not going to be enough. They got so many ways to save. Great play by Ajit. They take down the Pugna Ward, maybe. Nice deep threat, keeping it alive, and, well, they're chasing down Mushi. This could end up being another kill if they can find this one. This is looking great right now for Warriors Gaming.
And this is where a sustained lineup really gets its traction. A very long, drawn-out team fight where they don't get counter-initiated on. I'm surprised that Fnatic stayed this long without their best initiator, and they got punished for it.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty much what Lumi was talking about earlier. Like, Ohio went in. Granted, I think it was a good play to do what he did, because it pretty much made everyone focus on the tankiest hero in the team. And that mentality is still really good. But the problem is, once the tankiest hero on the team is dead, because he ate all of the enemy's spells and you're pretty much playing a 4v5, yeah, it's really tough, because, you know, the net worth on the side of Fnatic is still, you know, relatively top-heavy between the 3 cores. And you're pretty much, you know, getting rid of 9k net worth on your team during that fight when you make that kind of play.
Who got the Sand King kill? Or sorry, who got the Axe kill?
It would have been Necro. He scythed them.
Oh, yeah,
so.
okay,
yeah,
cool.
Necro.
You know, and the other thing that was interesting about that is that we talked how much sustain you were talking about in the draft, how hard it is to fight into it. The fact that they did focus Ohio there, it makes me wonder what's going to happen in the next initiation if you don't get, like, all of that epi damage onto one hero. Like, it feels that Warriors Gaming have really gotten items and gotten the time where they can make a battle of it, even if they're a little bit behind at this stage.
Well, I think relative to the last fight, they're now much more behind simply because Axe just picked up the pipe. And the pipe nullifies whatever Sand King could do. And again, Warrior Gaming needs that one quick pick with Necro. And it's hard to come by once the pipe Vanguard's up.
I would actually say that if Fnatic get into a couple more of those scuffles where they're not able to really get much and lose a core or two, it can very easily get turned on its head in favor of Warriors Gaming, just because of how Necropos functions.
Oh, Ajit, he's controlled for the moment, switching over to Strength Form, does still have his replicate to use and is going to get out of there, so hard to kill that guy.
It's very hard to kill him, and another thing too, you know, we're talking about the sustain on the side of Warriors Gaming quite a bit, but Axe is probably the only hero on the team outside of Juggernaut who can like truly help burst somebody down, because the Culling Blade just negates things like Shallow Grave, and it also enables you to get to a threshold where you can just get a kill.
The scan, they realize that the Ogre is up here. They're going to go for the wraparound. It might still break the smoke on them. X-Nova spots him out, and well, AU trying to run away. Do they go for the Blink Burrow? They drop the ward up on the high ground.
See him?
Oh my god.
I didn't actually see him. That was so close, actually. A very nice play there by AU, breaking the smoke. He even drops the lane ward outside of vision, so they have no idea that ward's there.
I think that's where you ask your Sand King to make a blind guess, because they weaved him on top too. They had vision of him walking him up the hill.
But I mean, he could have. Oh no, actually, if he walked straight up, he would have gotten seen too, I guess.
Oh, AU, they jumped forward.
He's out of there.
Oh. And Raven might end up. Did they find him?
They're pulling Ohio top. They just want to pressure Ajit more.
Yeah.
Infused raindrops on the ground. He is going to dodge the call. Okay, creates the replicate. He's in trouble.
Oh god,
that's a kill.
Oh, Ajit. That was a huge mistake. He does the call. All right, bring it in.
Okay, he's still lit.
He's very gone.
No. That was actually so well executed there from Fnatic. Pulled in like 2 different heroes as well. That blinding light change with the mana leak is so insane. It's great. So much mana.
The pushback is roughly the same AoE of like 30% larger than a black hole. It's kind of crazy how big it is.
It's like 525? Is that what
it's 7 or 575 if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, it's 525. It says
675 for blinding light pushback.
Is it based on level?
No, it stays the same at every level for a coddle.
I think you just get a...
Oh, the radius is 675. The knockback distance is 525.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't think we mentioned it, but Pugna has gone for a Bloodstone, so generally Pugna has issues with regen.
Yep.
But now no longer.
I think I would have rather preferred him see by like an Ether Lens and a BKB, honestly.
No, that's what I'm saying. Every time I see Pugna, it's like, you should go Aether. It's just...
It's actually so much utility, because it's like buying a Dragon Lance on Sniper, right? It's because you can hit from so far away that you can do these non-committal style pushes and still chip away at the enemy base.
Well, not only that, the A-Lens increase your spell damage output, which, you know, if you're looking to siege buildings, that's kind of more of what you want, right? More damage.
It's true. It does make you prone to being killed, though. Like, squishiness is going to be a factor when you're playing Pugna pretty much 90% of the time. Unless you're super late game, like 6-slotted, BKB, Shivas, all this crazy stuff, which, you know, obviously we're still a ways off. But
I'm going to say adding 200 extra range to your spells helps you survive.
I agree. I agree.
Definitely. Well, it's kind of transitioned to a little bit of a slow period in this game, but it does feel like it's just sort of ramping up for another one of those big fights. You've got a couple other strong items. The Blink Dagger completed recently for the Darkseer. Obviously, the Sand King had his done. Nana has one done as well. I mean, is this something that really adds to the kill potential for all of these heroes?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Multiple blinks is always going to help you kill. I mean, the way that the late game plays out for Warriors Gaming is, sure, their lineup has great sustain, but they also have the ability of bursting heroes with Reaper. Like, if Reaper is up and they get a blink stun epi into a Reaper Scythe with the Veil, that hero's dead. Like, Pipe or whatever, they're probably still going to be going down, especially once E-Blade comes out.
Yeah, I'm surprised that there's no Glimmer Capes being worked on by Fnatic. Or is Jimmy working on one? Because Glimmer Cape is...
He has one, yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
That is
the item.
The most important item against Necro. Like you said, when Shotgun comes out, anybody WG wants, that person's dead without a Glimmer active on them, so...
I guess you can go like Lotus as well, right?
Yeah.
Lotus is not really going to save, per se, but it will punish. And if, you know, Dana's not paying attention and he's below half and just Reaper's a Lotus, it can be very unfortunate. But yeah, Glimmer definitely is like the A #1 item for supports.
Well, vision-wise, we're seeing that Warriors Gaming, they got a pretty good view of their own jungle, and it doesn't look like Fnatic has been able to get the same levels as...
Jimmy's fine. You see, homing beacon of Fnatic never gets caught, just brings hero everywhere.
Dude, he's actually played Coddle for such a long time. Like, I remember seeing him go off lane, like, even when he used to play for EG, he would just sit in the woods with a Quelling Blade and just literally bury himself in the woods and just throw out Illuminates.
That's awesome.
He knows the trees, I think, probably better than any other North American player in the world.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I don't know what to say about that. That's like...
He
that's
made
a weird
the trees,
compliment, but it's awesome.
He made the trees his home.
a Tinker Ward for
They know
Jimmy.
about it.
That's the kind of respect you get when you know the woods that well, you know?
Actually, another player that really reminds me of when we casted that Wings games together, was it Ice? That play Coddle. Granted, he did it with Axe, right?
Yeah, he did it with Axe.
He did it with Axe and a Blink Dagger. He was in the trees. Jimmy's doing it, 15 minutes in the game with no items.
Well, speaking of being in the trees, we do have Afu here as well as Nana.
Radiant's middle tower is under
I was
attack.
not going to make that next move for the next creep wave. That definitely would have been the death of him.
Well, he's got the pipe. Super tanky.
I mean, if you jump on him with like Epicenter and then also having like a little Dazzle Heal on top of it, I think he'd probably still drop there, right?
And a Veil, yeah.
Yeah, they can burst him still. I think it's also a matter of if he gets the active off. Miskey? Yeah, he miskeyed.
I mean, he has another shot in 5 seconds, but
I really like what Jimmy's doing here. Like, even though we've seen this gank happen twice, right? Once it worked, once it didn't. Even if neither of those ganks work, you're still pressuring, making sure that the Morphling doesn't get the farm. And Morphling still is relatively behind. Does he have to complete it Ethereal yet?
No, he went to Dragonlance.
Okay.
Dragonlance and Lincoln's. I mean, the thing about Morphling is he has such an insane power spike once he gets the E-Blade that even if it's slow, it still usually has really good impact against teams that don't build BKBs. And Fnatic don't really make BKBs except for maybe like the Pugna. Because Ohio already he's invested in Pipe and Vanguard, right? So you don't really want to buy BKB on top of that. You want more of a utility-based item next, I feel.
There are Morphling builds that you skip the Ethereal Blade. What are the justification and, I guess, benefits and weaknesses?
they're going to be late.
I don't know if you skip it this game. I mean, maybe
it's so good this game because of the Reaper, right?
Yeah, I mean, maybe he could buy Manta for like stuff like Mana Leak, and truthfully, he still is very hard to kill. So if you wanted to go full right-click, I think it would take a little bit longer, obviously, to come online, whereas the E-Blade's just one item, and you get your influence based off that. But yeah, Fnatic, they're going to get the Roche.
This is a long smoke that they've gone for. They get them to go onto the replicate. This is actually a huge play if they're able to find him. The ward is there, though. Catches onto 2, Epicenter, wall dropped as well. Onto 3, that's going to be a dead Coddle right off the bat. Epicenter still going to the Omni Slash, kills off the Sand King. Now turning onto the Morphling as well. Ajit trying to hide away in the Roche pit. Nana's still doing his damage as well. Looks like Fnatic will back out, so they trade 1 for 1. That's with the Roche.
I mean, I guess given the fact that, Fnatic did just get Roshan, trading a 1-for-1 with a team who's leading in net worth is still valuable. And it does also mean that for at least a little while, Fnatic are not going to be able to push directly down mid. Although I say that, and maybe they do just go straight down mid anyway.
It's really weird. They were grouped up all right here, and they took like the longest route possible to get to the Roche, but I guess they didn't really just try and catch them off guard with the fight.
Well, you don't really want to go through the choke point where you assume the enemy team's going to have wards. That's the part about it that makes it scary. So when you go from the back, you have less of a chance of running into the frontline heroes that Fnatic want to tank damage, and you can maybe get like the Keeper of the Light down, for example, or Mushi, who's usually going to be sitting in the back.
I'm surprised they committed the Reaper for it. I guess you just Reaper any target you want, but obviously you're looking at more the juicier targets, the Pugna, the Axe, and whatnot.
In that kind of moment, I think it's whoever you can get at the point, because it's like very chaotic.
Yeah.
They were trying to focus down the Nether Ward too, and whatever kill is presented to you, I think you just kind of have to take.
Burrow Strike, they might have him down again. They have Sight back up, and Raven turns upon him. A ton of damage being dealt out. They do end up being able to get the Shallow Grave, keeping Nana alive. Raven is still sticking around, and if he sticks around too long,
the heals.
The sustain is right there.
Nobody dies. They've just got everything.
Dude, Necro was sitting there with 100 movement speed. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna
whatever.
Oh, is Ohio actually still going back for BKB? That's crazy. It's a very defensive build from him.
I mean,
it's still a great item.
Reaper is the only way that he really dies in this game, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. They got 2 Glimmer Cape, I believe. I think Ogre's got one more.
AU has one too, yeah.
I mean, that's the right way to play against.
I mean, I guess this is showing one of the biggest weaknesses of Warriors gaming lineups, and Lumi asked earlier if there was any merit to going right-click morph.
Yeah, I think
The
maybe
merit-
seeing all of this is you don't go shotgun anymore, right?
No, he's still going to get it, I think.
Yeah.
But the merit of it is that you are so heavily magic damage comprised that it makes things like Glimmer and like BKB just volumes better than in a normal game, because you don't have any damage split.
Okay, they jump, break the Lincoln. Jit in some trouble is just going to morph out of there. So one quick thing to mention also in the sort of dynamics, Netherward does break Sand King, does break Blink Daggers for Sand King after he epicenters, so he has to wait that extra little second to make sure he doesn't...
well, that extra second means you're losing a lot of
Nana, they've already done it. He's channeling. He's going to try and jump in. He's stuck there. Is a little bit too late to the party. Raven has already taken down the Necro, and it looks like with that comeback, they're going to buy back on the Necro and force him away.
You know, the one thing we're focused on is sustain on the Dire side, but Fnatic's got Healing Ward. If Pugna wants, with the Axe, he could just keep healing the rest of his teammates anyways. He's got Bloodstone for his own regen, so you saw the epicenter. They come out at full HP.
Yeah. I mean, that was not a... When your Necrophos is the one that gets jumped, that's like the worst case scenario, because you're counting on him to eliminate somebody from the fight.
Right.
So as soon as, Raven walks in, gets a Diffusal Blade charge off, and Ohio follows it up, there's no saving that hero anymore. Like, there's no... I don't even think they have a single Force Staff, do they? That could be an incredibly good investment for Warriors Gaming, because the way the core hero dying without being able to abuse Shallow Grave. And that's going to happen every time Ohio is actually one of the heroes leading the charge. So having Force Staff against it would be great, allow them to get, out of position.
Well, it depends if that target's haunted, right? If it's haunted facing towards Fnatic's...
Okay, yeah, that situation, that's bad. But the way that fight led off, a Force Staff would have saved him.
Right.
Well, another smoke gank moving in now. Fnatic trying to take this one, and it's the only person that's up front and center is Raven. Do they just storm the high ground regardless of, oh god, Afu in some trouble? Is going to be able to strike away, still alive. Diffusal Blade charges off as well. They do still have the vacuum available. Wall not for another 10 seconds, and they don't find the counter initiation play. Now they're staring down the barrel of Netherward already down on the ground. Raven hitting their melee barracks. This is looking rather rough for Warriors Gaming.
This is kind of the last final fight here.
They got the ward down.
Okay. Nicely played. They are going to jump forward. Call again. Ohio on top of Sand King. This is a dieback. Into trouble. Nana turns around. Is going to get the Reaper off on the Axe. He's gone for 90 seconds, but this is also a Necro with no buyback. Can they chase this any further? I don't think so.
I think they've held the base, right? No, actually, they're going to come right back.
Vacuum Ball is still back up and online.
Yep. But Pugna Blast is going to take down the Rex. Are they actually going to go mid? I mean, your Juggernaut has Aegis. He's got a Lincoln, so he's going to be able to tank in the front lines. Oh, Aegis runs out.
I don't think it matters.
Okay.
It's still a minute left on Necro. Necro is the only hero that really secures a kill, because Ajit doesn't have E-Blade.
Oh, man.
He's only got a Ghost Scepter at this point. That's not enough damage.
All right, Weave is going to propagate to the heroes, but so much...
Oh, there we go. There's the E-Blade.
He got it. Jumps forward. Raven. No, not dead as of yet. And Mushi just keeping his buddy alive. They do take down that ward.
They got to get a kill here.
They're looking. Right clicks, doing a lot of damage. Waveform forward, trying to find him. Diffusal Blade turn around. Raven's taking him low, and now the life drain also. Ajit is going to get Grave, but can they find the dunk? It doesn't even matter. He's going to replicate out on nothing. So low, but he can get back into the fight. TPing away is going to be Kangaroo, but broken instantly, and life drain from afar. He falls. Ushi's on a killing spree.
Oh, more thing. I think it's porting back into the fight. That ward is also doing so much work. Barrel Strike's going to miss because of Lincoln Sphere, and now it's going to be Decrepify, Life Drain, Second trying to scuttle himself out of there. Oh my god, Netherward getting a kill, and this Morphling, she's not hitting hard enough.
I mean, he didn't even E-Blade anybody yet. Okay, Reaper.
Oh, we got
no. Raven.
That was...
Oh,
that's
he's fine.
That's it.
Yeah, I think that's GG right there, boys.
That is a rough life indeed.
Actually, Ajit might be able to kill a support with this combo now. Okay, never mind. Ohio's here.
Radiant's bottom
Game start.
That's going to be the Merrick's, and 35 minutes into it, you take a look. What felt like it was evening out a little bit for Warriors Game and Unity is just falling apart, and GG is going to get called. Game number 1 going to Fnatic in this best-of-3 series. Gentlemen, what did you think about that game? Was it a lot just down to the failed level 1 Roche? Do you think that
It hurt him for sure. I mean, when you have that kind of strategy in mind, I think
Radiant team ban. Fnatic's turn to ban. Radiant team pick.
Keeper of the light.
Fnatic's turn to pick. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Reserve time. Fnatic's turn to pick. Radiant team pick. Naga Siren. Fnatic's turn to ban. Fnatic's turn to ban. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back again. Warrior Team in Unity facing off against Fnatic. Lyrical, Lumi, Draskell. We're in game 2. How you guys feeling?
I feel like, after watching the first game and thinking about it in my head, I think Warriors Gaming actually had a shot to take this to a third game. Because I think that their strategy wasn't even that bad. It was just like the Sand King being off for a long time, didn't really do much. And if they had gotten like an edge anywhere on the map,
If they got that level 1 Roche.
if they get the level 1 Roche, yeah, then maybe the game is like tremendously different. But they just needed one thing to go a little bit better for them, and I think that game would have been pretty different. So, game 2, we're already in the draft, so we can probably just check it out right now.
Yep. By the way, to remind the viewers, the loser of this series is eliminated from the running.
Yep.
Winner gets to have a shot at I believe the 3rd series today. And I think a lot of people are favoring Fnatic, but like Andy said, I think WG could take it to game 3 and maybe even take the whole thing.
If you would have asked me last night who am I favoring, and at the end of that last game, I definitely would be favoring Warriors Gaming Unity. And even still, I kind of feel like that level 1 Roche just put them not like incredibly far behind, but far enough behind that it messed up their flow. And this one, seeing the draft that they're taking, it's pretty clear what they want to do. They ran Coddle, Naga in their first 2 picks, banning out the Pugna, taking away that, Bat Rider as well, those heroes that help you break high ground. And it feels like they're comfortable taking this late game against Fnatic. They're going to be hard pressed to really make that work.
I mean, this is a dangerous opening though if you're WG, because you can get like or something, right? And that like destroys the Naga Coddle, because you just farm so fast that you're pretty much acting like a Naga Siren, except you come online like, okay, they ban it. But yeah, it's like 15 minutes before the Naga Siren is a Naga Siren, the Alp is a better Naga Siren.
I actually think the Coddle pick, even if they don't use it as well as Fnatic, taking it away from Fnatic is important. Do you see how many ganks Jimmy set up?
Dude, it was a really good call.
Yeah,
they Tinker Warded for him because they killed the Morphling with an axe and a Coddle.
Yeah.
Like, you don't normally see that kind of stuff happen. But yeah, I totally agree that Jimmy's Coddle play in the last game was on point. And the problem with, I think, like playing against Fnatic is that they actually have so many different heroes that their supports are good. So like Ogre and Warlock and Coddle like between those three, even Undying, Nyx as well. I think I've seen AU play it. Yeah, when they were running the Pugna Nyx, AU was making really good rotations on that as well. So
AU also play things like Bounty Hunter, Ricky, although they haven't picked Ricky in particular for a while. So yeah, their hero pool is quite deep. I don't think you could target ban a particular player.
If they wanted to, like we saw that one Fnatic game where they went like Shen and what was the other one? Ohio Nature's Prophet.
Yeah.
If they wanted to like a mid-war, a little bit out there, but it feels like they could really punish this lineup from with the Naga Siren Coddle. Like, could they just go like all-out aggression in the similar vein that we saw in that other game?
I think you wait a bit to see if you want to commit that hard, because yeah, right now this draft invites early game finish from Fnatic, but who knows? You know, Afu could pick up 3 anti-pushers and call it a day.
They've done a really good job though of preparing for that kind of stuff, right? So they take out Alk, 2 mid heroes that I would say are pretty good at dismantling a Naga lineup. One which pushes you so fast that you just don't have time, and the other one where the Alchemist just out farms you and you can't get your items quick enough to really deep-push the lanes, whereas he's going to sit on 6 items at, 25-30 minutes. So I think that, WG have gone in a really good direction in regards to their bans and setting themselves up for getting enough time for Naga Siren to actually become a Naga Siren.
Rubik.
I like this pick. I mean, he's becoming like super popular and obviously great against Warlock. Anything you steal is going to be amazing. And, no field, you've been talking about wanting to see that leveled up throughout the entire qualifiers. I can't help but agree with you. Not to mention, just of course, his W being a huge source of deep push as well.
So,
go ahead.
I was going to say Rubik really came to popularity in the Chinese scene where OD is really a commonplace. And it's so nice to have an Astro on your side as well when you're looking to initiate/defend. And it's almost a guarantee kill, guarantee steal from an OD. And that's why you see Rubik being, so popular lately. And speaking of OD, one of Mushi's go-to heroes, still in the draft, not that bad against the Naga Illusions. Looks like we're going to see a Timber for Ohio first, though.
Yeah, it's obviously good against the Naga. It's kind of a double-edged sword. I feel playing against Rubik and Keeper, though, as supports, I feel like they can be moderately annoying. The worst, I think, is probably...
You mean for OD?
No, for
Timber, okay.
Yeah. For Timber, I think it's annoying. Mana leak and stuff like that can be a nuisance. Instant disable with the Rubik. He can spell steal, and pretty much, I would say Timber Chain and Chakram are both really good steals for a Rubik.
Yeah, Timber's okay for escaping, but Chakram, you just go to town.
Yeah, you
buy Soul Ring and you just farm.
This is actually pretty freaking greedy from WG. Picking up Storm and Naga. I mean, I guess... to catch is the fact that their lane presence is just massive, and you have a Rubik and a Coddle, so it's like
ain't bad. It's okay.
I mean, I defy you to play a level 1 Rubik against a level 1 Ogre and tell me how effective those right clicks are going to be.
You just run away, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're going to have to just run away. So I think that Fnatic are going to have obviously an advantage in the lanes here. They're also going to get to counter pick mid, which is also another thing. So I guess they're just banning a Mushi hero here.
I mean, is this 100% Storm mid? Can you go Storm safe lane Naga mid?
I
mean, you could Naga mid.
One thing that I wonder if they might go for, and we've seen it a couple of times, is Coddle as part of an aggro tri-lane. Naga is traditionally, I mean, you've been able to play her in an aggro tri-lane as well. Is that something that you could try and do where you just have those blasts continually getting thrown out there, or is it too weak in the right-click department?
Against Jug, Warlock, Ogre, I think that's a very hard lane to win.
Okay.
Also, when you run an aggro tri, you want your other lanes to at least be kind of self-sustaining. I feel like Storm needs a bit help, depending what the last pick here for Fnatic is. Speaking of which, what do we expect Mushi to be playing?
How's Mushi's puck?
I mean, yesterday he ran around killing people.
So I'm thinking puck, personally.
All right.
I think it's really solid because it gives you initiation. You were saying they don't really have it right now. It's something that can just get on the supports too, which I really feel like they are lacking. They don't have that hero who can just go on a Keeper or go on a Rubik and just blow them up.
Okay, we're gonna see the Kang Axe. I think this is actually one of his best heroes. So
okay.
Although, the lane is not going to be great, right?
So one thing that they could do is jungle the Axe and have Coddle in the off lane keeping the tower alive, which I think I've seen Warriors Gaming Unity run this before, and was to pretty good success, but the problem was that it wasn't against lanes that are as strong as this. I don't know how well it would work, but I've at least seen them run it before.
I mean, the nice thing about Coddle and putting him in the off lane is that you can stay so far away that most of the time, you know, Warlock and Ogre don't necessarily have tremendous catch. You just don't want to. You don't want to right-click trade with them.
And if you just get a windlace, your base movement speed is so fast that you could kind of just scuttle away.
Yeah. All right. So what's Mushi's hero? TA's banned. I mean, I like Puck too, but I don't know if they're gonna. They're waiting quite a while. It could be Queen as well. I guess it's a Mushi favorite.
They could go Invoker. He's played Invoker. All right, there it is.
I mean, it gives you the quote-unquote guarantee kill against the Storm. And it's fairly good at evading Axe, so yeah, it's good stuff. Now, last time they picked Puck, they combined it with the Jimmy Cotto, which not only was it the beacon to keep calling Puck into wherever
Didn't they lose that
game? Yes, because they lost it to an AUK. They couldn't kill the AUK ever. Okay. But the combination they had in that game was, you know, Dream Coil into a Blinding Light. It was like guaranteed stun.
That's actually so sick.
Yeah, it is. With the new improved Blinding Light. But
dude, you get that Aghanims on Puck.
Oh my god.
You just stun.
I've been seeing it for years. I see you get goals Ag Puck and you always roll your eyes.
Because back then it was awful. Now it's actually good.
It's been always
that stun is forever. It lasts forever on the tether too.
All right, we're probably not going to see Axe Puck this game, although if the game goes long enough, we might.
I don't think it's that good against like heroes like Storm, for example.
No, it's not.
Because you can just ball out of the tether and you don't really get stunned. So I think Fnatic, they are definitely on a timer. Against Storm Naga, like the amount of wave clear that WG have this game and their ability to get around the map quickly, it's going to get real hairy for Fnatic if they can't establish early dominance.
This is like my favorite thing to do during pauses. I'm also outing myself as the obs this game, so that's great.
So when you miss kills, just blame me anyway, dude. Just be like, nice job, Drass.
Come on, Eddie. Oh my goodness. But it's I love that they changed it around so they're all in a line now. You know what I mean? When they first all jump into the game. So
oh yeah.
It's good stuff. Well, we're not going to see level 1 Roches, but a whole heck of a lot of TPs moving out. AU is going to be trying to place himself a ward in the offlane. We'll run into X-Nova almost immediately. And looks like they'll just do a little shuffle step here.
Ooh, in the trees. You don't see me.
Yeah, I don't spot him.
That's, by the way, like a great spot to hide if you're doing the off lane. Just want to get that EXP.
It's kind of weird that the Ogre's hiding from the Coddle. Like,
oh, he's trying to be sneaky, but Ogre doesn't have that evasiveness.
Look at that damage. 3 right clicks and he's almost back up.
I mean, he's going to reach.
Do you really need to be evasive when you're just 8 armor at level 1?
Sometimes you want to be sneaky, dude.
What a hero.
I think if you want to be sneaky, you pick Bounty or Ricky. You don't pick Ogre.
This is a neat little ward here as well. Going to be able to spot out and also get the block on the camp. Always helpful. Looks like with that, both teams just going to stick to their own side of the river. Don't want to head out too far afoot.
This game, I think Fnatic are very they understand the situation that they're in. We need to push the pace really fast. We need to make sure that this Ajit Naga Siren doesn't get out of control. You know, obviously keeping Nana down too is going to be a bit of a task, but I think if they can just get map control early and they can get some towers, they should be in pretty good shape.
Illuminate not hitting.
Hit Raven.
Okay, but Fatal Bond onto 4 or 3, and now the spin goes on onto the Naga, dropping Raven low, and Raven walks up a hill into a Remnant. They do get the Naga on the way out, Storm, in a lot of trouble as well. Puck gets lifted, and looks like Illuminate clings him down as well. They're now going to support Warlock. He is very tanky, but keep in mind he does not have that heal. All right.
Oh, the
Ignite comes out. Puck.
Abu. Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy.
Oh, the body blocks too.
That was...
Goodness.
I'm telling you, man, he knows the tree is literally better than anybody. Forget just the US anywhere.
All right, well, Fnatic, they're pretty happy with that one. You take down the Storm, you take down the Naga. You do lose your 2 cores as well, but I don't know.
WG got first blood, though. I don't think the equation is as clear-cut.
It showed it into the favor of Fnatic.
Okay. By
about 800 or so.
I don't know if it record. I'm
not sure if they recorded the first blood.
Yeah, that's kind of what I think too, because the recap is a little bit buggy, and sometimes it counts stuff, and sometimes it doesn't.
The recap lies. Stats don't lie.
Well, it does look like they're going to be having a one-on-one matchup here, Axe versus Timbersaw, which is always interesting to watch. Do you guys have a personal favorite in this Battle of the Bruisers?
Axe until level 6.
Okay.
usually. The thing about Axe is that he actually just kills the wave so much faster than Timber can, but Timber can just tank an infinite amount of creeps. So the Axe shoves the wave into the tower, and then Kangaroo, he wants to be able to pull that camp, obviously, but you can see that the ward placement actually blocks the camp because they anticipated that there would be a 1v1.
Okay.
So, yeah, he's going in, but...
I mean, you could get super lucky and get, you know, some spins, but that still won't really cut it.
He's going for the double points and whirling
okay.
death, manning up against Kangaroo,
This is
trying to
dangerous.
bring him down.
Actually,
He's got
just
only
follow him.
seconds.
I know, never mind. He's
He's got a self. Yeah, should be fine. But yeah, usually when you're playing like an Axe or a Tidehunter, you shove the lane super hard and you just pull the camp. So nice foresight here from Fnatic, understanding the matchup and not allowing Kangaroo to just get that free way to control the lane.
Bottom lane.
Ohio top lane. The spins, Jesus! If he gets one more, he's dead. Oh, unfortunate.
I think they aggro that spin, dude.
You remember when he said that he was just going to spin a million times? His
Yeah.
mid Nana's also probably dead too. See you later.
Oh my goodness.
That one's on me. I'll take the blame. And top again. Kangaroo's going ham. Let's go, Gabe. Come
Get
on.
him. Not going to get him.
He backed off. He's a coward.
You know, this is what you need to do. You follow him with your hero, and then you put your camera to the bottom lane. You aggro on one of the enemy heroes.
Oh, yeah.
And
There you
just
go.
spin, dude.
Demon.
Just spin for the win.
Right clicks. Not
He's
going
got
to be
the
enough.
heal, man. Shadow Word is like,
Too OP.
get off me.
Well, everybody very low in all of these lanes. It's been kind of a bruising style of Dota so far, but I think one of the bigger stories is Puck is having a really good time against the Storm Spirit in the mid lane.
It's standard. Like, Puck wins that lane pretty handily, I would say. And the
is-
funny part is he doesn't even have a stick or anything. He just, like, standard null bottle.
He's gonna get that second no as well. This is Mushi we're talking about.
He's going... Is he going second null?
Yeah, for the Veil too, right?
Yeah,
That's what I expect. Bottom lane, Demon, they're on top of him, doing a good bit of damage, and Rubik actually standing tall here. They're going to turn now onto X-Nova, and he is going to end up dropping, I believe, but Ajit is there as well, drops out the illusion. Spam also has another Riptide, but not going to go for it as of yet.
This game's a freaking bloodbath, dude. There's people dying everywhere.
I like that before I die, Kato, I'm gonna give you a mana. Here's one on the roll for you.
The ultimate support. Man, this is such a frustrating lane to play in, though, for the Naga Siren. You get Shadow Worded, you get Fatal Bonds, Ignites all over your face.
The thing that's really a big turnaround for this game, though, in comparison to Game 1 for WG is the fact that, you know, Ohio is not just crushing. He's actually, you know, CS-wise, he was losing his lane pretty hard to Kangaroo, who has made his way to middle lane.
Oh, pump fake. All right, pulled back in. They got him. Apu already in the area, and they're going to be able to find that kill.
Good stuff. This Axe is going to be like the shining hope of WG for the foreseeable future. If he continues this raid and he gets like a decently timed blank, he can be like the space creator that his team needs him to be, so that, you know, the Naga Siren and Nana can kind of catch up. Because the Storm he was kind of getting wrecked mid until that gank happened.
Yeah, Storm doesn't have any stacks to really fall back upon, and I think any stacks that is created is probably gonna go to the Naga eventually. So yeah, I agree. This Axe, you think this is going to be a Vanguard game where you could make a pit stop, or you think it's a dire enough situation where you have to go for the blink first?
See, I don't know, like, I watch a lot of Axe games, and I'm never really able to really understand the distinction of when they decide that it's okay to go Blink and when they decide that it's okay to go Vanguard. Because, like, 9 games out of 10, it's Vanguard.
Right.
I very seldom see, like, Trank right into Blink.
Okay. I mean, I guess on part of it, you also look at what your teammates could do when that initiation comes out. You have Illuminate to combo through, but that's pretty much it. So I think with that said, you probably do go for the safe Vanguard first.
The wraparound play is going to be here. Afu making stuff happen in these early stages, and they do get off the wheel and death before it ends up happening, but there's the dunk. Axe breaks down that timber.
All right.
And Ayu, very deep. What are you doing here, buddy? Afu all over the map right now, though. They are going to be able to find that kill. Ignite doing a good bit of damage, but I think he's live through it.
Oh, 2 health. 2 health.
Dire structures.
Calculated. Well done.
That guy's the 3rd highest MMR on the C server, guys.
Okay.
Showing there.
Dire's top tower is under
Man,
attack.
that's actually so heartbreaking for him. If he gets that kill, it's so worth it. Oh, looks like we're going to lose the Coddle as well.
Tried to get the deny to neutrals, but not quite there.
Raven going in.
They're just all over the map right now. I mean,
Dude, this is what I
kills.
expect when I see Dota. I expect to see battling.
They're going to now find it. They have the chakra open. Kangaroo in some trouble. It's trying to TP out. Not going to be there. Do find the kill with the Ogre.
That was pretty optimistic.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Kind of an interesting situation we found ourselves in is, I mean, Axe is still leading the charge. I was kind of agree with you that I feel like we always see Axe go Vanguard nowadays. Do you think that you need to like try and go into the jungle and steal away some of that from the Dire side, or do you just sort of play it a little bit more, running into a lane and letting the Rubik get the initiation and finding kills that way?
I think staying in the lane is a safer bet, because, I mean, Mushi can rotate pretty easily. The hero has long-range initiation. You only have a Rubik and a Coddle, so it's not, you know, it's like what Lumi was saying earlier. You don't necessarily have great follow-up. So pressuring the lane is what Axe does best, I feel.
Well, now that Timber turned level 6 or 7,
It's a lot harder.
Maybe not so much anymore. I would actually just go to my jungle and just call it a day. Lane, lift into nothing. A silence comes out. Maybe a bull. No, just Remnant and right clicks here. Jumping forward one more time, and they do get the puck. Well, we said that Mushi technically has a better lane matchup, but since then, both Axe and Rubik has rotated there, and I gotta say, this Rubik has been pretty impressive so far.
Yeah, Apu has been in every single one of his main skills, actually.
Yep. Oh, God.
Kangaroo trying to dodge it out. Does still have 10 stick charges, and with Afu here as well, I mean, they could go for this. Yeah, they're not going to go. Might have been a little bit too scary there.
It is pretty risky. I mean, Timber does an immense amount of damage. And he's not even gone for like the tanky build either. He went for the 2-2-2, so he's got a relatively good amount of burst. He's even going to get bottled up here by Mushi, and they do have Coil, so maybe looking for some kind of counter kill.
Rubik's out of there, so that means we're going to see a Radiant kill in the bottom lane. Because he is the lucky man here for the team right now.
Maybe. They do have AU in the area. They're scouting
they're
out
committing
with
hard to this.
Lugans, and
We're going to solve for this. Song is not even available, so I'm not exactly sure how they're going to catch up. There is going to be a lift, and again, into a call, into a dunk.
I'm gone. Just like that.
Wherever Rubik goes, that's where we're going to see kills.
He's really just gotten so much done. And I think this is why, you know, you were asking the other day why it is that we've been seeing less points in the no field. That added additional initiation range with telekinesis.
Sure. I mean, you don't get no field till, I think, 8 or 9 anyways.
Right.
Yeah, it used to be like 2-4-4.
Right.
Before they nerfed telekinesis the first time. And now people are just like, okay, some people actually prefer going 4-4-0 nowadays, depending on the lineup.
And then you get the try-hard that goes like 1-4-4.
Yeah. Got to get that max reduction, dude.
Is that the mid build?
No, that's just support.
No, Rubik, actually, he does go mid sometimes.
Yeah. We saw Miracle do it in the EU qualifiers, I think. I think that's the
We're not all 9K, though, come on.
That's true. Fair enough. Mushi is still getting somewhat bullied in the lane now that Naga has gotten a good bit of farm and topping him off pretty heavily.
So my question to you guys is, can a puck have this sort of very mediocre start and justify the pick itself, you think?
He's actually died 3 times.
Yeah.
But I think as long as, you know, they get some ganks, it's all right.
Oh, look at this guy.
Stolen spin.
He's cool. Oh my god. What a cool fella.
Well, an axe, but, you know, he's fine. He's an axe.
They had Omni, but it's not close enough.
Storm Spirit here turns now on to Mushi, bringing him low. It's going to orb away, but not a ton of mana left. Stick Charge is still available. The Healing Ward doing a good bit as well. Maybe.
Okay.
Killing.
Oh, God. This is going to be so painful.
Oh, Kangaroo.
Don't mess it up.
Don't mess it up. Hits it on to 3. Dunk 1. Can they get dunk 2? Trying to bring up, but a good silence keeps them alive. And now Apu with stun on to 2. He is going to be brought low. The spin forward. Nova also turned upon the cheap through as well. Kangaroo in some trouble. He tries to find it, but Ohio gets a double. Huge plays from Fnatic right there.
All right, I got a couple of problems with how that last team fight went. Storm jumped with all his mana, never focusing the healing war, so it just brought Puck back to, I don't know, half HP. All right, you get a great 4-man call, but again, where's the follow-up? I don't think that he combined it with the Luminant. Was Akato even channeling one? I'm not even sure.
I don't know. I'm not even sure he was he even there?
He was there, he died, right?
Okay.
And didn't fight.
Maybe,
so.
I don't know. I didn't know where the Kata was because I was watching the call, but...
So, as good as I looked, like, there was no damage.
Yeah, it's true, but on the other side of it, you could say that songing like that is ultra greedy when you know that all your team really has to do is delay the game.
Yeah, they could have just ran away.
They could have just walked away, held song, continued to farm. Like, Fnatic weren't looking to commit anymore to engage in the top lane, Jimmy.
Yeah, this should be a pretty quick and easy one. They take him down, and by the way, the dream is real. Afu has Chakram now, so probably going to be dealing the most amount of damage on his team.
That's the creeps. That's the dream spell, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, his team needs to help him. Dear God, help that man.
Now he's getting out. Walk it off.
Oh, easy peasy for Rubik.
Yo, if he actually threw a Chakram and Fate bolted, he would have killed Ohio.
That would have been awesome.
That would have been the play. I mean, sure, he's fearing for his life because, you know, Fnatic are there with like a million heroes, but I think killing Ohio and dying is actually still worth.
Alright, so given the nature of how this game, where you wait for your Naga to do things, if you're the Storm, are you also going for the greedy farm Bloodstone build, or is this actually one of the few rare games that you go Orchid?
He is going Orchid, yeah.
Okay.
It actually,
do you agree with this choice?
It owns 3 other heroes so bad. Like, it destroys Timber, destroys Puck, destroys Warlock.
Okay.
And Timber isn't going back for anything like a Lotus Orb to deal with the mana leak or anything else, so he's going to have mana leak on him. I think, yeah, you got at least 1 point in that for Coddle, and on top of that, the Orchid. So, I don't know, this could be a little bit interesting, and Blink Dagger is done, so Axe went for that early. I think this is the right play also. Again, bearing in mind the Naga Siren.
I don't know. I think having the discussion that we made earlier, I think Axe should have gone for Vanguard.
Well, I guess the justification is he has 2 heroes that are going to eat a ridiculous amount of farm on the map. And Vanguard, you need to farm more in order to get to Blink.
Right.
And he really just wants his 2 cores to get farmed.
But those 2 cores don't use the Ancients like he does, right? In fact, they can't use the Ancients. So I don't think it actually directly competes with the...
Yeah, but who's stacking those Ancients?
Rubik can.
Rubik was killing everyone, Lumi.
Nova, if you get out of this one, yeah, that's no way.
I think the biggest issue with like going for an Ancient stack in this type of game is that it's like beyond greed to do something like that.
Fnatic's bringing the fight to you, it's more time, right? Whether you have time to go for the stacks, take the stacks yourself, unharassed. I don't know. I mean, let's see how much this Blink's gonna do. Don't get me wrong, Blink's always a core item.
Yeah, of course.
But it's more of a, you know, whether you want to Vanguard on top of that.
He just needs to be able to pressure the map. And right now, since WG don't have Radiance up on Ajit yet, they need to play.
Jump forward on it. He's gone. There's a blink. That's the way you needed, but a ton of damage being dealt out to Nana. He is going to live through that one. Fatal Bond still doing a lot. Nana needs to survive through this, and looks like he probably will, but they've already lost the Axe, and now also in trouble. The Rubik is going to die. But Storm survived, so...
Why is he still hanging around the tier 2? Just
I don't
go
know.
home. Just go home, my man, because this is what happens. Oh, no. Spirit, she comes out of nowhere, gets a double for the team. Just go home, friend. Just go home.
He didn't even have a blink. He just casually walked up and treated. That was...
That's a tower.
Yeah.
That's potentially Qualifier losing. Like,
that was pretty unfortunate. The crazy thing about that fight is, you know, the Naga Siren had TP, had Song. I think in those types of situations, you know, obviously if you're Ajit, you never actually want to go to those fights because you're not farming during that time. But man, Nana was just... That's like me level 3. That's like literally me sitting in my lane at 10% HP and farming for like 2 minutes and then dying. And then just laughing because I know I shouldn't be there.
The other thing about that, it's another reason, and it shows why a lot of Axes are going Vanguard. You jump in, you find one pickoff, but then you also end up dying in that. Like, if he had Vanguard, he probably still goes down, but maybe he gets a couple more spins off first.
Or he takes more damage from the team, so his teammates don't.
He's not a puck.
They could just flop-flopple his way in.
Flop-flopple?
Yeah, that 2-man call.
Is that a technical term
That
now?
is the...
Can I get that with hummus? Is that...
Dude, that sounds delicious.
That's called initiation on X, the flopful.
Yeah, but I think in these type of situations, he just didn't want to over-greed. Although I say that, and they offensively
Have you looked at this Storm?
Dude, they offensively songed bottom, and then they tried to fight a 4v5. I mean, the fight actually looked like it was going pretty well.
They killed Puck right from the get-go.
Yeah, they killed him straight away, and then Chakram stole him again here.
Rubik is kind of keeping them in the game. Like, his plays...
I mean, he was. He's kind of feeding now.
Well,
dude, it's a Rubik.
Feeding. I don't know.
And
Maybe.
he's pretty much on his own, let's be honest.
You mean his team is like doing random stuff, he's the only one?
I mean, his team is farming, that's the thing, right? So, you're playing like... Oh, God.
Yeah, Asu gonna try and TP out again. Do they drop the rock? Don't even need it. They use the Dream Coil. Relic is coming up soon for Naga. Like, how much does, well, not the Relic, but the eventual Radiance change the game? It does it at all? Like, do they have to get it before all the tier 2s are gone?
It changes it a fair bit. I mean, you still need heroes that are going to be dedicated split pushing after the Radiance comes out. I mean, that's the whole purpose of Naga, is for lane control. The problem I think that they're going to run into is Ohio's Timber. It's going to have like Boots of Travel and Bloodstone before the Naga Siren even has the Radiance, and that's a problem because he just destroys the illusion super fast.
Yeah. I mean, coming into this game, we know that the clock is the Naga, right? And I think things are progressing as planned for Fnatic. And it comes down to this, like, next 10 to 15 minutes, whether they can close out the game.
Well, we do also have Blade Mail that's coming up soon on Axe. We also talked about the Orchid being completed. It does, like, with good movement and, as you said, you know, lane control, that type of stuff. I mean, their vision game is not so bad right here. They spot out all of this movement. They see Mushi move into the bottom lane. So they realize where the threats are coming. It feels like they can still hold out for a very long time.
I mean, they can, but, you know, you have all your outer tier towers dead, and a matter of holding out is just not enough sometimes because you're not being efficient on the map. And that's the worry, because if you have this hero that's able to teleport from lane to lane like a Timber with bots and just clear the waves and never have to go back to base, then your Naga Siren is going to be a lot less effective than you would want it to be. Although, that being said, he's not actually going for the bots. He appears to be either going for a Yules, which I would assume is the case.
Going against Orchid and Leak, right? Like, you kind of have to have some sort of defense.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, or Yules.
Bots are on the table at some point for that hero.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so synergistic with the way that he wants to play.
I gotta say, I'm not sure what I agree with the Kato skill build decision. He is maxing Mana Leak, which, yes, it's great against Keeper.
He's not... Wait, what? Say that
Sorry.
again? I just totally got lost in what you're talking about.
I'm looking at TV like a mile away, okay? I saw three stars.
You said the max Mana Leak is good against Keeper, and you can't Mana Leak yourself.
No, I thought he was maxing Mana Leak, which is good against Timber.
Yeah.
But I think this game, he needs to max Illuminate first and foremost, because...
But he doesn't want to take farm. He wants to help Naga farm. So he follows the Naga around the map and spams Chakra. So
which I understand, but there will come to a point they're going to be in front of your base. And Keeper is not one of those heroes that says, all right, give me 3 points in this Illuminate right now.
Kangaroo? Kangaroo? Okay. That was close.
Oh, it's scary.
He's crazy.
He does have his Blade Mail up and online now, though, so they might be able to defend this tier 2 tower mid. Again, they don't have Chakram, but they have Bloodlust to throw onto the Storm Spirit. He jumps in, kills off the ward. You are living life dangerously right there, man. And they silence up the puck, thinking about going back in. Nana very low on mana again.
They actually want to fight these.
He is insane, honestly.
Waning Rift is actually such a good spell, though, for Apu to have. Like, that's a prime steal. Because the silence on the heroes like Puck, for example, or pretty much anybody who wants to close the gap like Timber, you just destroy them with that spell.
Well, looks like they've at least slowed the siege, and I guess the Storm Spirit jumping in right there and killing off the healing ward was super value.
Yeah, that's what he actually needs to do every fight, because the other way, I guess, is Naga Siren Illusion goes in and does it, but there's a good chance that Illusion dies before it does what it's supposed to.
And if we reach that point, Ajit, Radiance up and online.
The clock has now started.
Okay.
A lot of people have this misconception of that once the Radiance is done, or at the time until the Radiance is a timer, but that's not true. It's after the Naga has Radiance plus like 2 items. Yeah. That's the real timer.
Radiance bots Yasha, Manta, or Octarine after that.
I kind of like going for, because one of the thing here is he's got a lot of points in Chakra Magic, so that cooldown reduction is Storm Spirit just takes down the Warlock. Oh man,
good pick. That's what they need. You know, they pick one support, forces Fnatic back. They don't have to get a core kill. They just have to get a kill that's going to make Fnatic less incentivized to go for objectives. Because the more time they buy, the better.
They don't spout the Ogre yet. It is nighttime now. They spotted him during that daytime, but it looks like Nana's just going to keep farming. And a regen rune in hand. Things are lining up for Warriors Unity right here. Fnatic definitely need to be careful.
It's starting to get a bit stressful, because if you look at Fnatic's lineup, yeah, it can push out the waves. They got this really farm Timber. They got Raven, who's pretty much been free farming the entire game, but they're really that good at killing Roshan. And in those types of scenarios, Warriors Gaming, their lineup is still good around Roche.
I would say Warrior Gaming is much better at fighting at Roche. They got Psalm, they got Storm. They could come in and steal so easily.
So this problem that Fnatic are running into is they don't have any way of realistically securing the Roshan to go for more objectives, because that's kind of what you need right now. You need an Aegis on somebody. because the fights are actually going to get closer and closer due to the lead of Fnatic not really being as maybe as big as they want it to be.
Oh, all right. Going in on Ohio in the top lane. Yule Scepter lift up. The Yule Binding Rift coming in from the Rubik. They pull in the middle of the Timber Chains. Lift back in. Now they have the silence to follow it up. Nicely played there as well. Going to be able to take him out. Possibly Ohio. Very low. They catch the call. Kangaroo makes the play. That was so well executed.
Nah, that was sick, actually.
I thought Nana was going for a solo kill. It's like, there's no way he will get this, but 2, 3 Pyros came out. Nicely done. It was a perfect chain stun.
That Waning Rift, yeah, that was really clutch. That steal ended up securing them a kill that I don't think there's any other spell they steal that kills him there.
Oh.
It's pretty much the only one.
Omni Slash maybe, but hard to
Even
get
Omni, because if he timbers at the right time, the Omni bounce won't follow him.
Yeah.
It goes too fast.
Well, suddenly...
Okay. Nana's crazy, dude. He just does what he wants.
That signals that Coddle's back
Demon.
there.
He has no mana, he just jumps
The
forward.
Revenant doesn't see him.
The Revenant doesn't see him.
Oh.
No vision. No vision.
Lord of the Trees.
Yo, that's a storm nerf right there.
Mushi. They stun out the axe. The Dream Coil's already been used. Nana's out of mana. Omni Slash and Trunks to get out of there.
Dire's middle
Looking
tower
for more,
is under
but...
attack.
Man, Warrior Gaming just want to fight, even when they're not really capable of fighting. Storm had no mana. Axe goes for a call.
Dude, Nana is crazy.
He actually is.
This team is crazy, like, overall.
I think there's actually something else too on the side of Fnatic that's worth noting is the fact that Raven did go back for Battle Fury. So it looks like Fnatic are not going to take the super aggressive route and just try to ram into high ground or, you know, take Roshan, but they're going to put themselves in a better position if the game does end up going to that later game phase.
Which is?
I mean, it's
pretty much
going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think about that? Like, do you think that this is a tactical mistake at all? It kind of feels like Naga Siren late game is just impossible to deal with almost.
It's not a mistake. It's more just a matter of Fnatic don't want to run the risk of trying to high ground too early or trying to high ground without Aegis and then end up losing a fight. And because of the fact that they commit like mid-game oriented items, like say he goes for Diffusal and Manta
Or
instead
drums.
of or drums instead of going for the Battle Fury, then he has literally no way of catching up.
Right.
And then the Naga Siren's just going to be ahead of him forever. But if he goes Battle Fury, at the very least, he's saying that if the game extends, which they're kind of assuming that it's going to, that he's going to have some items to be able to contest the Naga.
Although I agree with this item choice, I'm not sure whether I agree whether Fnatic can win this late game.
Ohio, they've got him again. They're pulling one back in. Axe is there. Call onto two. A nice jump away, though. Puck is going to be able to survive through it. But again, Ohio on his Timbersaw. It's going down, and they got eyes on Mushi. Ohio, they lift. He's stuck there. Now they
Toss right into a call.
Afu has been playing out of his mind. This guy winning games.
Yeah, he's actually carrying pretty hard. The spells that he's stolen, his positioning on the map, his laning phase, like ganking top. He ganked every single lane, actually, didn't he? Yep. He's just been everywhere. This guy's actually crazy. We say Nana's crazy because he's literally crazy, but Afu's crazy because he's good.
Which, I'd rather be that.
I mean, Nana's also
I'm not
really
gonna connect
good.
the dots for you there, but yeah.
All right, well, Afu, his chakram's coming back to him. Ohio's kind of mad about the situation, but they do need to be careful. Coddle is over here.
Oh, it's a bait, dude. He can TP out of this anytime he wants.
Yule Scepter! It's in trouble! Alright.
Okay, he paid for his indiscretions that time.
No, they had 2 heroes around him. They're like, nah, you're good. They could have easily mana leaked and blinding light. No, it was on cooldown.
It was just a bad judgment of the situation. He just probably didn't know that Ohio had Yules.
I mean, I think he forgot.
Well, yeah,
Yules
that.
has been
It's a
on,
lapse in judgment, you know? You're just like, whoops, had a Yules. We've all been there.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Storm
attack.
Spirit now, I'm assuming this is going back to the Bloodstone, is going to jump again onto the Warlock, and, well, no great way to stop it.
There's a mech. It looks like he'll be fine.
Kangaroo catch.
Oh, he's
Still finds the kill. Nicely played. Nova can pull somebody back into here. This could rapidly scale into a real engagement.
Alright, so I have a theoretical reason as to why Nana is so crazy.
Okay.
You're playing against Storm, right? If you're playing like in a support capacity or you know the Storm is really farmed, if the Storm is running at you, you're just inherently like, oh crap, there's a Storm running at me. But you never bother to check his mana. You're just always like, oh god, he's gonna kill me.
What do you count these players are like 2K pups? Of course you check a Storm's mana. That's the first thing you check as a support. How much mana does he have?
No, it's fine. But But that's the thing,
He's just
right?
crazy.
He just plays like he always has full mana.
I mean, he has a Coddle.
I mean, in some situations, if it's super chaotic, you might not actually click the hero.
That's true.
The Coddle's around too. We haven't seen it yet, but I want to check out some of that double remnant action. That'd be pretty cool stuff
Dire's
too.
middle tower
What's
is
pull
under
cooldown?
attack.
18?
Yeah.
Yeah, double pull's not really a thing, I guess.
Structures are fortified.
Double battle hunger, dude.
That actually, how long is that? That's down
5
to
second cooldown.
so 0.8 seconds where you won't be berserker called. Oh, battle hunger.
Battle hunger.
No, man, call. What are you talking about?
Well, call's still like a 5 second cooldown, isn't there? 4?
It would be
don't
so
think
it's
it's short enough
3.2 second duration. So you would have 0.8 seconds where if you could also disable them during that time. Damn.
And then you get a refresher, and you get like 4 calls fresh around both heroes.
And then you buy an Abyssal Blade,
Octarine
and then you
coming.
get double Abyssal.
All right, we're all fired, actually. we're out of here.
All right, seems like everybody's doing this beak and recall thing. The way to play Coddle.
Coddle Storm is actually so good at defending.
They've really taken back complete map control. And I mean, look at the net worth. It's only a 2,500 net worth lead in the
that's-
favor of Fnatic.
Well, we said it during the draft. If Ajit gets to his items, it's going to get hard for Fnatic.
Yep.
Like, they don't have
Dire's
necessarily
middle
good
tower
ways of
is
taking
under
fights. They
attack.
can control the lanes, and they can stop the Naga Siren from like whittling down tier 2s and whatnot and buy their time. It's just going to come down to who makes mistakes. Because when the lanes are so split up all the time and heroes are just all over the map, like in all 3 lanes,
Yep.
you just see small skirmishes. You never see big fights.
And to me, it's so easy to make a mistake against the Storm. Like, you see Storm just jumping at mid. He wasn't even going to get that kill, but it's just the pressure that he has on the map. Very similar to what I think Fnatic did last game. Remember, they had the Coddle Axe just recall going for the Morphling. Sometimes they get the kills, sometimes they don't, but the fact that you just keep pressuring on the other heroes just gives your core so much room to do whatever he wants to do.
Yeah. I mean, it's getting close to that point, right? Where Nana can just pretty much do whatever.
I think we're already at that point.
Dream Coil X Nova is going to die. They're not going to use the song for this one. Ajit want to make sure that he's survivable, but over here in the top lane also, Nana was going a little bit onto Timbersaw. They're kind of spread out here. Yule Scepter lift up onto Apu. He's in a little bit of trouble. Throws out the telekinesis. Is going to drop Mushi. Still alive for the moment, and well, he is going to get ran down. They find that kill. All the lanes pushing though while this is happening. So can't really find a way to stop it. Nana even takes the tower off the back of it.
What is Coddle's levels right now?
He's level 9.
Okay.
He's the lowest in the game.
That's personally why I don't like maxing chakra magic anymore. Like, you just stay at this level for such a long time because your inability to do anything.
I mean, I think it's more the fact that he's playing against heroes now that if he gets initiated on, he is just dead. Like
No. More so the fact that you don't get to a level 11 because you can't hit creeps. I mean, again, you want to give the farm to Storm as well as Naga, but I think this hero at least wants 11.
Had he done it earlier, saying he might be a higher level now.
Right.
I suppose, but again, it just comes down to the farm distribution.
Yeah, I mean, maxing chakra, there's no disagreement that it's good this game, right? Like, it's just more of how they're playing it, which...
You just mean like cause and effect.
Yeah, cause and effect. Oh,
Mushi?
oh my god. Does he have a Yos? Doesn't need it. Boom. Kangaroo.
He didn't even pop the DD for that one. He pops it afterwards. Oh wait, maybe he did. All right.
Is there
he
still
did.
that bug where if you're mid ball and you pop a rune, you don't get it? That used to be a bug on Storm. Where like if you had a DD and you popped it in mid animation of ball lightning, you just wouldn't get the rune.
I'm not sure.
That used to drive me freaking crazy. I just can't actually remember if it's still a thing or if they fixed it.
I'm a support player. I never get to.
I'm sure Twitch Dead knows.
You don't get
I just
DD
have.
runes?
I actually don't know if they fixed it or not because I don't play that much Storm anymore.
Look at this, just cutting his way through the creep waves.
Does he have vision?
No, the Remnant Vision got nerfed pretty hard. He doesn't even see Jimmy.
But he will spot them now. And jumps in on the demon as soon as he spots them. Pull is there, but there's the stun from the Ogre keeping him alive. As Apu's still containing them though, and Yule Scepter lift up. Ohio, they drop the rock, dodges the stun. Nana, get out of there. TP to the high ground, and he's out of there.
Nana's crazy. And a good way to stun.
Yeah, makes it work. I mean, that's Warlock down.
There's nothing really they can get objective-wise for it. Although I would say that it's probably harder to utilize Rock right now. In that case, Fnatic are just going to go ahead and just do the Roshan play. You can see that Ajit is like cutting all two lanes right now, sending the third illusion actually to Scout Rosh. Probably already knew what was going on, but just wanted to be sure.
There's no way that Nana doesn't go for this, right?
Yeah, you just walk in and saw.
Dude,
right?
he is crazy. He's going in.
Does he drop the TP?
I don't.
Drop a TP.
Fnatic aren't getting Roshan any lower.
All right, yeah.
Okay, the illusion saw Roche health. I don't think they're gonna even try anymore.
Oh my god! Nana on top takes down Mushi on the other side of the map.
Dude, they're owning actually.
They are destroying Fnatic.
All right, what is the comeback here for Fnatic? Does Ajit have to like run himself into the tier 4s twice?
No, I still think Fnatic have a shot at winning. I mean, sure, the window of opportunity is getting smaller, but you know, all it takes is like one of those mistakes where a core dies, and then you just get all the lanes pushed out again, and then Ajit pretty much has to start from ground zero. That kind of thing is what Fnatic actually need at the moment. Okay. Although with Mushi being dead and Roshan being half health, this is a bit problematic.
Yeah, they do not have buyback on Mushi, so even if they wanted to, they can't do it. And, I mean, if they need to, they could just pop song for this at the end of the life.
Yeah. And keep in mind that they don't have rock, because Jimmy used it a while back.
Yeah. Well, they do...
all right. Got the last hit. He got the last hit on Roche. Nice.
That's pretty awesome. You'll Scepter lift up, but I don't think they go any further here.
That was calculated by Ohio. What a player.
That was awesome. I guess the problem, though, is that you still have now an Aegis on the Storm who has already been just so willing to jump on top of your supports. If you're Jimmy right now or AU, you are feeling so afraid.
Yeah, you're pretty much going to die every fight at this point. You just kind of have to accept that. The only thing that really counters counters a Storm as a support at this stage in the game is like Ghost Scepter and Glimmercape, because the Storm himself won't always have room for detection.
Yep.
So you can just bank on that, and okay, he balls on me, he has a ton of mana, I Glimmer and walk away, or I Ghost and walk away. But the problem is they don't have that money. Like, AU, he has quite a bit of money, but he's going for the Guardian Greaves build that we so often see.
You know what's so cool about this, too? They're sending out the Naga Illusions to scout out for Storm, and he just balls from the other side of the map. Like, he's done that 2 or 3 times now onto Mushi, and, like, that last one, he was just barely able to get off the Illusory Orb, and then afterwards, Jaunt, like, it's actually terrifying.
Well, this is the problem playing Puck against Storm, is in the laning phase, you have a huge advantage, and then for maybe, like, another 10 to 15 minutes, you're still pretty good against the Storm, because you can ensure that he dies in a fight. But once the Storm gets ahead of the Puck by, like, a lot, all of a sudden you are food for the Storm. Like, the roles completely reverse. And you can see by how aggressive Nana's playing that he recognizes this. He's going to get first, though, by the Yules.
Silence not going to quite be there in time, and he does just run away in some trouble. Drink Coil isn't going to be brought down as well, and he still has Aegis available, but there's the jump away. Juggernaut in the meantime kills off the Axe, so Nana loses his Aegis. They lose the Axe.
They could kill him there if they rock properly here.
The
With
song.
Oh my god.
Good save.
Are they actually gonna think about turning back? Yulsumter picks him up. Maybe the rock can combine it.
Silence. He doesn't have any way to break this. Nana in some trouble. The is going to go down. Oh my god, just barely out of there.
Ohio's going for it.
All right, Timber Chain lifts up. Needs to find this. He's going to be able to get him.
He could have just made a long jump.
All right, Nana. That was...
Nana's crazy. I mean, he balled behind a tier 2 tower, forced his teammate to song, and then got his Aegis. He lost his Aegis like all in the span of about a minute. That was... Remember when I said all it really takes is like that one death?
Yeah, but he has the Bloodstone, so he's back.
I mean, he's back, but at the same time, that gives a tremendous amount of momentum back to Fnatic.
As long as Ajit doesn't mess up his Naga play, I think the game still is in WG's back.
I mean, look at it. All the lanes are still being pushed out. They're cutting bottom even as well. Like, it's really hard for Fnatic to do anything.
Actually, maybe not. If you check over to Mushi's inventory, he's going for a Hex, right?
Yep.
A good Blink Hex against Naga. That could...
With Timber as well.
Yeah.
Timber damage is really high. I think he's going for Ags next too, so his burst damage is going to be even higher than that. And don't underestimate Ogre either, man. Like, multicast during late game? Late game multi are no joke. You can take a ton of damage.
The reason I got the Storm kill was, you know, half the damage came from Ogre, just in that multi. So.
He got a 3x multi.
Does he go back for Ags for even more lockdown in this game, or do you just go for Greaves first?
You go for the Greaves. The mech actually cuts into your mana pool so much that having the Greaves really helps out. And of course, you're up against Orchid, so having the Greaves to get rid of that is good stuff.
Yeah, he got the Greaves now. But the nice thing about Ags too is that you don't actually ever need mana to stun.
True.
So you can always stun even if you're like completely at that point. But yeah, Lumi's on point with the Guardian Greave purchase.
Ooh, that's that 35-minute Midas.
All right.
I mean, this...
Oh, Nana. He is going to go for it, but they break the smoke on the illusions. That was a 5-person smoke, and now the jump in call, a little bit of miscommunication between Warriors Gaming. Nana jumps in as well. Omni Slash gonna connect, bringing Axe down, and stunned for the moment. Nana needs to get out of here.
He doesn't have that much mana.
Song. Okay, but Ushi is still here. They're controlling him.
He's trying to. Oh, nice.
Oh man, it's not gonna be enough though. Whoa, okay, his Yules was on cooldown.
Timber
Yeah,
had
it
one
was-
too.
yeah, it was-
wasn't nearby, I guess.
He wasn't close.
Yeah.
He had the Timber chains.
Well, now he has his Yules, and on top of Mr. Afu is going to, I think he brought down. Yeah, there's the chopper.
No, that would have been so legit, actually.
Oh my god.
The Fnatic are still keeping this pretty close.
So, was there any need necessary for WG to fight there at all? To me, they just keep playing the Naga game.
I think the Axe saw an opportunity to jump Mushi, and he just got phase shift dodged.
Okay.
And then after that, like, the Axe is already committed. He realized his mistake and tried to TP with BKB and Call Armor, but Raven just did a little bit too much
They
damage.
take them all out. They actually got 3 creeps down here to the bottom lane. So this is going to break backdoor protection, and I mean, they were doing a
This is
great
the
job of
problem.
cutting them all.
This is a real big problem. Like, Raven is super tanky as well. Scotty builds after the
I mean,
battle.
if they lose Naga here, they can lose the game.
Literally 3 creeps right here are
Hex is available on them.
Okay, the creeps are dead now, but the tower is still going to die most likely.
the backdoor protection very much disabled. They're taking down the melee barracks.
Oh, he missed the call.
Ravens still hitting away.
I think he need to go on.
Jump forward, pull back now onto the jug, throwing him for the moment. They drop the rock onto the side of Nana though, and he is up and low enough. And pull it, turn it back around. Oh my so much damage coming out. They take down 3. Kangaroo.
How do you get your rock stolen?
Oh my god.
Did he have Blink? Yeah, he has Blink. That's how it got stolen.
But you just one-pointed upheaval. You're up against Rubik.
All right.
I mean, he might have assumed the stun hit him, and at the same time, it's like if you're super fast and you see the rock go down, you can Blink steal.
Afu winning games. That's all
but
I gotta say.
You also have to say Kangaroo got a 3 call.
That's fair enough.
By the way,
Dyer's
that
middle
was
tower is
Subshi was
under
about to lose that game off some amazing throws.
Well, really good recognition by Fnatic too to just spot out the 3 creeps and go all in on them.
Dude, when you're playing against Naga, that's all you're looking at. You're just like, oh god, we got a creep. Go. It could be like one catapult at 10 HP, and you're all in on that cardy, man. That's how it works.
Oh, great stuff. Well, they still do have their golem, and it looks like they're going to be. Let's see, the tier 1 tower, Warriors Game and Unity have very much found themselves in a decent position, but a little. I mean, state of the game right now. Do you think Fnatic still have what it takes? Do they need another like weird creep wave to randomly show up like that again?
They need WG to do what WG's been doing, which is
Dyer's
standard.
I think what you mean to
Or
say
fight.
is they need Nana to be Nana and
Or-
just go completely ham.
or Kang to miss a call or two. You know, they just need W because I don't think Fnatic is really in too much control of their own fate. If you swap out WG, right,
I don't know
and
about
you
that.
put in Wings, right, which do not lose this game.
After getting the racks, though, I think Fnatic are more back in control of their own fate than what you're saying.
That has
But they're
7,000
definitely like
Behind from a gameplay standpoint, not by numbers, I would
Okay.
say. Because the way that WG have to play the game is they don't have to commit to fights yet. Like, sure, Ajit's kind of getting closer to that point where he's going to have full items. Like, he's sitting on 7,300
Yeah.
gold. I think he just buys heart, right?
Yeah, he had the
Yeah.
recipe already.
Full heart. So now, he gets his last item, probably Butterfly. Fnatic, they probably only have 1 MKB buyer at best, and that's going to be Raven. But outside of that, it's like the Naga doesn't actually get any more farm than that. Then the Naga's like peaked.
he's got 3 more slots. You get the Moon Shard,
Yeah, but does Moonshard really change
get
the
the
Naga
3,
plays?
you get the Refresher.
You know,
Look, we're not done.
You
yet.
play support, dude. You've never done any of those things.
I mean, I've dreamt of it. I've seen everything.
Ohio. They get the silence, have the call, lift up Ulysses. All right, but still in some trouble. Afu's going to be able to control him, and the rest of the side of Fnatic is coming in rather slow.
They got Raw.
Might be able to get there.
They got Raw.
They drop it down. Okay, still bringing Ohio low though, and BKB's been popped for Kangaroo. They're in the area, get the call onto the puck, controlled, Omni's drop. They turn it around again with another ulti from the Rubik, and they're just going to drop the song and get out. This is some good hesitation by Warriors Gaming Unity.
Yeah, that was
Have you seen that story?
That was, I mean,
it was a good shot call to get out.
Yeah, that was.
Because the Omni was going off, they didn't kill the hero they went in on. Like, Ohio were generating a huge amount of HP because of reactive armor. There was just no reason for them to continue committing to that fight. So the fact that they decided to bail is actually a good thing.
And now the Storm's up top with the Keeper of Light recall. That's the one thing that I'm super happy about the way that WG is playing. They are always out on the map, creating a ton of pressure. Sometimes not working out as intended, but always keeping the wave pushed. And now that's going to be hopefully another 2 for the team.
Nana's playing safe now also. They break the Lincolns, he jumps out of there and should be fine. This is one of the more exciting ways to play Naga Siren with like a super mobile other core that wants to get active. It's kind of cool actually.
Well, it's just synergy between the heroes.
Yeah.
Like, the best way to deal with stuff like split push is either to 5-man before the split push becomes too much of an issue, or when you're laying super hard and stuff like that. But if you get to this stage where you actually have to address split push directly, it enables heroes like Storm. Because the Storm wants one hero to come top to D-push. He wants one hero to go mid to D-push, right? As long as it's not Ohio, because Ohio's incredibly tanky. But if it's a support, he just kills him.
Yep. I would say Juggernaut is also immune to the Storm at this point now with his gear. Does have the butterfly finish. Surprised that he never went for the Blink Basher build that you see some Jugs transition, because that is a way to get into the Storm or the Naga.
You die with that build. Like, you actually just die if the axe goes on you.
Okay, so do you think it's correct that they don't go for the catch play? They just go for, look, we're going to keep the waves constantly push. We're going to go for the ultra late game.
Yeah, I think that Naga does fall off ultra late.
Okay.
And the thing too is you're taking so much farm away from the team. Like, look at the last hits. It's 626. The next highest person is 261.
Yeah.
Like, it's not as if the entire of WG are getting farmed. Like, Nana having Lincoln's Orchid Bloodstone at 42 minutes in, that's pretty good, but it's not great. Like, he's not, like, destroying with his item progression.
Okay, now we're going to focus on the Juggernaut. Shouldn't die. Like you said, that build is quite the protection.
Well, Mushi is also on in now. They might have spotted out Kangaroo, and he's just going to try and blink out of there. Still have Dream Coil available. Does he go for it? Oh, Mushi not going to try it. So, a couple other interesting things. Coddle has his Aghanims now. The gem. He's going around making sure that their map is completely free from enemy vision, as Kangaroo won't be able to catch Ohio there. But is there a way that you can start transferring some of that farm over to the rest of your team? Like if you maybe give the jungle to your other cores, or is it pretty much just going to be Naga continuing to soak up all of that?
I think Naga should focus mostly on the lanes to push it out and allow the support to farm the jungle. Kato with Axe can go through the jungle quite easily and fast. In terms of the items that maybe the supports could be going for, I know it's a very expensive item, but I think Hexes should be on the table soon. Like, you there are ways to catch and kill the Fnatic heroes. I don't think WG will ever win this game just by ratting. They need to actually kill.
Alright, well, looking like we have a little bit of an initiation. They find the Hex immediately on a Coddle. Jump forward, Sean. They also use the Dream Coil there, but now Bloodthorn revealed. Nana on top of Mushi, but Yule Scepter and jumping away. So they don't find it.
They're going to lose Roche here. I mean, they could maybe go for a song play, but this is super risky if WG commit to this with 4.
Well, Juggernaut too afraid to bring it down low until the coast is clear. Apu in position.
And they also have Nana here, who is...
Can they actually kill Ajit now if he just waltz into the pit by himself? Like,
oh yeah, timber damage and Jug, they can definitely kill him.
Okay. Well, he has a... No, he doesn't have the butter yet. He's actually gone for the
Ohio is very far forward. The rest of his team is nearby as well, but he is actually the one that made it a little bit too far forward. Demon is there as well, and they don't end up really committing anything for it. Onto them. Who's going to drop it? Also, Raven turning up and taking them down. Is going to have TP.
Nice jump. Oh my God, that was a nice jump.
Oh. And Naga, meanwhile, has just been split pushing. Demon has gone for the Glimmer Cape that Andy has mentioned, and you do see why Storm has not really been jumping him as much anymore.
Yeah, that item is actually necessary. So what Storms have to do against that is they have to pretty much ball in a way where you're facing the target to insta-pull him, and then hope that you kill him within the pull.
Or just have a gem.
Or yeah, have a gem too.
Look at Deep. He's just like dropping to these illusions.
Yeah.
And Roshan still going down. They went for the song play a little bit early.
And that's just doors open for Fnatic. Take this Roche.
Yeah. Storm is here though. Can jump. They need to get vision inside the pit. They are going to spot it out now. Push from the high ground. They're outside of the pit now.
He's dying to illusions too.
Roche is going to die. They jump in, able to steal it. Nana making the plays. And got the kill. Now up on the high ground. Turns to the Ogre. Demon dropping low. They do have the Glimmer Keep keeping him. Well, it looks like they will be able to get out. Huge plays from Warriors Gaming. And all started with the coddle right there also.
Yeah. You know, when the song was used so early, I was like, oh my god, they're going to lose the Aegis. The Blinding Light gave them enough time. Another illusion scouted the HP. And obviously, it's a Storm, jumping from a mile away. So, very unlucky for Fnatic. I thought for sure they would have had that Aegis. And they need that Aegis to, you know, leverage some of these pushing.
They do have 2 hexes now, though, on Fnatic, so...
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, obviously giving the Storm and Aegis is not a great thing to happen, but at the same time, they actually have ways to kill him now.
I would make the argument if you kill Storm once, you could kill him twice with the amount of control that they have. So
yeah, probably.
Maybe it's not so bad.
He needs another, like, I don't know. I guess with the Hex, there's not really much that saves him. Like, maybe Lotus Orb for some of the other stuns, but even that's, like...
He does have a Lincolns. Maybe, you know, if he survives long enough, the Lincolns could...
He probably just needs BKB, in all honesty.
Yeah.
Or, you know, get rid of the gem, Shivas, then BKB. I think that would be a fairly good... Or I suppose he could go greedier and go Hex BKB instead of Shivas. Hex is always an amazing late game item.
So if you asked me like 20 minutes ago who's going to win this game for sure, I would have said WG, but hold on, I thought here.
On top of him, this is the call again, but we'll still find the kill nonetheless. Kangaroo TP's out of there, and looks like Nana still slowed, but going to be able to get out.
He's got an Arcana, dude. He is out of there.
Alright, and Rubik full Timber Chain now too, so he's gone. If he can get into an Axe for Rubik, I don't know if he's going to be able to. He's actually getting close.
He's there almost. Look, you know, if you steal wrong, you could get 2 of them now. Oh my god, if he steals Dream Coil.
Dude, that's actually the steal this game. With
You have Blinding Light, dude.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think that they spotted that. They may have, but the big thing is now, Ajit is up on their high ground, and they're starting to siege these towers. Nobody is back right now for Fnatic.
They're trying to force a buyout from Jug, but I don't think they're going to be able to.
They might if...
Silence? Alright.
No, Ohio's too tanky. I don't think Raven's going to buy back for this.
No, Ajit. Not exactly sieging the fastest.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They really don't want to commit the buyback. He has it, but if he buys back now and he dies one more time, then there's a chance that, you know, WG just get a free set of racks, or maybe even... They're going to lose their safe lane tier 2 in this process, though.
Ajit is actually also going to TP back home to defend against the push bottom, so that will stop it. They take that tier 2, as you mentioned, and looks like we'll reset from this position. Still one more standing for Fnatic in that bottom lane.
The thing about having the Timber in the game with a Naga is that, you know, the Naga illusions are never going to be tanky enough against Timber damage because of how, like, crazy the burst is between Shivas and double Chakram. So, in some scenarios, other heroes, you might be able to force that buyout on the Jug, but against this farmed of a Timber, it's not a thing. He's just going to kill the illusions.
It looks like also Afu is going to be going back for a Lotus Orb, I believe. So
that's a really good choice this game as well. Dispel when there's double Hex, like, that is the dream.
Yeah. And he also, I mean, he's got enough maneuverability items, either from stuff he's stealing from Fnatic or Blink Dagger, that he should be able to get into range to help out his Storm.
I mean, he managed to steal Chaotic Offering, so I'm pretty sure he's going to be able to use a Lotus Orb.
It depends on how crazy Nana goes, right?
That's the big question.
Right?
No. You preemptive Lotus him, man. It lasts like 8 seconds.
But fair enough.
Okay.
If you can't hex him for 8 seconds, you know, or sorry, 6.
I was thinking that they have enough damage from the rest of the people that, like, if Puck even hexes himself, then Timber could find the kill onto Nana. So I was thinking more of like removing the hex, but
I mean, right now Nana's fine. You got Aegis, you got Lincolns.
Ooh, Shadow Blade on Axe. I like that choice too.
Okay.
But if he gets it the Silver Edge, it's amazing against Jug.
Or Timber.
Or Timber, yeah, but that's only if you catch the Timber before he has reactive armor stacks. If you use it on them in the middle of the... He maintains the buff, but he doesn't get any more stacks.
So as I was saying earlier, I'm not sure if this game is as clear-cut of a WG victory anymore.
yeah.
Yeah, when it gets to ultra late, you know, anything can happen in these types of games where it goes close 50 minutes. Because everybody scales so, like, highly in terms of damage output and whatnot that, you know, one fumbled fight or a buyback into another death just means GG. So now it's just a matter of who gets the jump, who gets the more opportunistic engagement.
One of the big things, though, now is, again, that Coddle Axe during daytime is going to really play dividends.
They're looking for Ohio, potentially? It's not an easy kill. He is not scared.
They pop the call, but, well, BKB is still there. He has a Hex available. And they actually have net still, so he cancels his TP and is going to try and... Oh, and they're on top of him. Pulling back in. Nana, far away, finds the kill, and, well, Kado is going to be left alone up in the top lane. He gets jumped upon by Mushi. So, heads-up play right there from Mushi, and that is not the gem. That will be X-Nova's life.
Okay, but that's a push regardless. Last time we talked about the Juggernaut dying, but there's a Timber backing up. Timber's dead.
Yeah.
He's got a low respawn though, and it is technically 4v4. Granted, not an equal trade, I guess, in terms of the heroes that are dead.
God, look at these Naga illusions. They're slowly bringing them down. Actually, jump forward. Forces out the Blade Fury. Raven needs to be a little bit careful. Bloodthorn can definitely tear him apart once that's down.
Yeah, he got the healing ward with that ball. That was the main thing. So, I mean, it's kind of getting to a point now where you kind of debate: do you get rid of Battle Fury on Raven? I think he has to hold on to it on the Curry, but he needs another item like MKB or something, or Abyssal perhaps, like Limmy was talking about earlier. Because the Battle Fury is necessary still for pushing the wave, but the fact of the matter is, in the fight, the Battle Fury is not really useful. He needs another item that's going to be able to either allow him to kill the Naga or allow him to lock somebody down.
All right, Mushi, they're all coming in right now, and they do have Demon with the rock on the other side of it. They jump forward. All right, so it's already out now on top of the axe. He's controlled. Apu is going to get the Lotus Orb on top, but already dead. And the Song should keep their guys alive. I think there's the TP out of here at this point. This is too scary.
They can head to him again. Can they see him?
No, they didn't. Oh,
the rock commits. Jimmy had the right idea, but he was just like half a second late.
He's not fast, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So well.
Kangaroo comes right back in. Maybe it's the bait because now, okay, can they actually get the kill on the jump? No, they're going to refocus on the backline, but Yule Scepter, Nana jumps to right, and now Kang's trying to run out. I do believe there's some sort of true sight. They are chasing him.
Yeah, Mushi's got a jump.
Okay.
I think that's totally worth, because now Omni Slash is down. You've also got yourself Warlock ulti down. Fnatic are going to push this, which is a little bit scary, but I think that Naga can just do Naga things and keep him off the towers pretty well.
Well, here's the thing. Naga has been doing Naga things. Even with the hero dead, they still have trouble breaking the Hydra on the other side, so...
If you look at the lanes, it's, the Naga Siren's really only keeping one push past the river at the moment.
Right, yeah.
In fact, I think WG has taken more objective in the past 20-30 minutes than...
They've got a big one now. The healing ward is down. Jump forward, call onto that jug, but still going to be lifted up by the Yule Scepter, and Kangaroo not going to be able to do enough damage with that blade mail.
There's no buyback on
He's
that,
gone.
Oh my god.
That is really bad.
Okay.
All right.
Rubik needs to steal Chakram or something to give him a little bit more creep play.
I mean, they killed the whole creep wave, and now they have to get out.
Oh, they don't know he doesn't have buyback.
Oh man. Do they go in there if they know he doesn't have buyback?
I think so. Because they can just go. They can hit the tower. There's no initiation anymore, right? I mean, yeah, sure, Nana can go in, but that's not, BKB disable.
I mean, they're also feeling confident because they don't have the rock, and now we do see the jump. BKB gets popped. Coil gets onto 2.
Nana's going to chase this, though, and he jumps onto Ohio first. The questionable there. They hex him up controlled for the moment, and going to be brought down just like that.
And Rubik coming in to look for a little bit more, but... Okay, Gem hits the deck. They gotta take that one back.
Wait, who picked up the gem?
No one yet, but I think Kato will find it. Yeah, he's got it.
He's got it, yeah, okay. Yeah, that was pretty unfortunate. I mean, they were looking for some kind of counter kill, maybe hoping that Oddbit would TP to another lane and they could find a different hero, but at the end of the day, end up losing Mushi. It's kind of painful. Losing the gem. On the bright side, Ohio's got his Octarine now, so he is just the tankiest basketball in the entire world.
And this is one of those instances, too, where it goes to show in that one moment, like if you kill a hero late game, you have a creep wave as well, they're going to take the towers incredibly quick. So I think that both teams very much still in this game, and it comes down to map movement, map control. And I feel like Warriors Gaming just have to play so much around this Coddle during daytime. Although maybe they're just going to play around Nana being insane as he hexes up the Timbersaw, turns upon him. Also comes in for a quick shot, but BKB Pop turning it back around now. They have taunted the Timbersaw, and I think they just need to get out again. They're going to lose Axe. BKB popped. He's gone, I think. Well, Blinken won. In range. Shadow Blade. Kangaroo. Oh my god. Kangaroo, you made it happen.
And that is why late game Shadow Blades are good, boys.
Well,
I mean,
guess.
sure, he missed the rock, but
Yeah.
it's the same reason why the Glimmer is good late game, because people just don't have room for detection anymore.
When is this late? When you know?
Yeah, when it's like post 50 minutes and everyone's like 6 slotted, that's when the Shadow Blades are. They go from like being amazing to awful to amazing again.
Oh, and they're on top of him again. Juggernaut is getting controlled. Does he have enough disable though?
Goodness.
Not going to be there, but still, I mean, every little thing, it's just Nana putting fear of God in these guys.
Teammate. Oh, Glimmer Cape runs out now. He's gonna get
He
seen.
saw him, he saw him.
Has he used a spell since round? Yeah, he did. he did. Rubik has the same idea. It's like, huh, let me see if Jimmy made a mistake here. Jimmy on top of things.
I mean, that's just a steal that you do anyway, right?
Yeah, you always do. I mean, you see a Juggernaut,
He
you
has-
see a Warlock, you just go for a steal, man. You don't know what you're gonna get.
Seen Afu's inventory? He's got 18 seconds.
I mean, Naga.
That is
Naga's
a man.
been fine.
That is a man on a mission.
He wants to make sure that his axe can get away. Yeah. I guess also find whatever wards are there. I mean, they have a gem too, right? Like, what?
Well, the gem they got from the other team.
Did,
They have a gem collection.
they've got a couple.
Okay, yeah, one for each eye. Let's go.
Is Ajit buying sentries for his buddy?
Oh my god, that's a Naga
What?
song. That is a Naga axe.
Aghanims.
I've never seen this in a pro game before.
I've seen it, but only on supports. I haven't seen it.
No, there was once that EGM stole a song as a Rubik with axe, but he never used it. All right, but now we're gonna see it. The heal.
So what's the application? What does he get rid of?
Well,
He doesn't even have it.
so what it gives you is it's 48%, or I guess it's 7-second duration, so 70% heal of your entire team.
Yeah. I
with
mean,
max HP.
I mean, I know what it does. I just mean like what is the application? Like what scenario is this actually good when they're pushing?
I mean, I don't think he should have got it. So I don't
Well,
think
I
it's
just
good
like
here.
I said, I've never seen it either.
Yeah.
So I don't know like what the
I mean,
the utilization of this thing actually is.
on paper, it seems good for like a long siege, but they don't have good siege heroes.
I think it's an item that you have when the enemy team is sieging your base.
yeah.
And you song when
For
you're
a heal?
losing the fight,
Okay.
and then you come back and everyone's like full HP. And
I
then
mean,
you
it's good
re-engage.
against Fatal Bond, I guess.
Well, yeah, I think that though that you're right.
Dude,
That
he-
if they end up losing a bunch of barracks and like they're the last ditch effort, like he brings it out of his inventory as he buys back and then TP's in, like and replaces the diffusal blade or something at one fight.
Yeah. I don't know.
But aren't there better items for affecting a fight? I mean,
I don't
I
think
guess on
so.
paper you heal your team for 70% HP. Maybe that's.
I mean, that's pretty good, right?
He has so much gold. Like it
Bottom
doesn't
lane.
matter. He bought those 18 sentries as bottom lane. They are going to throw it out there. And Axe already gone. Song a bit too late, but Afu might be able to TP out. So safe one.
Yep.
I mean, they're just being very liberal with the golems now. Jimmy's like, I've had enough of this.
Top tower is under
He gets a refresher too.
Okay, refreshes his song. Wait, he didn't pick up his radiance. He has to just refresher now.
Uh-oh.
That was a mistake, I think.
I think he got summoned before he was ready.
Oh,
Yeah, he's gonna TP back home.
bottom lane. They're actually in on top of him. Ajit is going to get the song, but he doesn't have a TP now.
They're like, what the hell? How does he have another song?
But now they know. They will click on the solutions. So these solutions don't have radiance. Time to go home, guys.
Ajit is breaking new ground in Naga play.
This is not a scenario that you see very often.
Well, he still hasn't used the axe song yet.
I mean, he pretty much had to have his coddle summon him back to base. Okay, now his radiance is coming
Okay.
back. He had it on the courier, like halfway between base and like actually tier 1 used to be, because he realized he didn't have it. And then those illusions were not super effective, we'll say that much. At the same time, you know, Apu and Nana trying to sneak a Roche here. It's not going to be super fast. Okay, I guess they're just going to decide that it's probably not worth the risk.
Nope.
Jump on the Mushi, controlled again. They have somebody TP'd in, but not going to be there in time.
Well,
that's another
gem. I don't think he can take it, though. Yeah, he's just going to grab it and get out.
Let's open a jewelry shop on the Radiant base.
This is getting a little bit hectic here for Fnatic. They keep losing heroes.
I mean, both sides have been losing heroes.
Yeah, but this is now another potential, like, Aegis, right? Maybe Nana drops, what did he drop?
The thing I'm still looking for WG is, like, you're getting 1 or 2 hero picks, like, but how do you break high ground?
Oh, he got rid of the
They don't have a good tower hit.
You just kill everyone, then you go high ground.
Or illusions. Your illusions hit the
You don't
building.
have to need it. You don't need a high ground team at the end if they're all dead. Luke.
Right, but they haven't been all that. Fnatic, you say that they're getting a little hectic, and I agree, but they haven't been losing more than 1 or 2 at most. And it's still dangerous to go up high ground against, you know, a Juggernaut, that's this stack, a timber that could mow down the creeps.
No, I think that you're right. This game is not going to be over quickly. Like, they're going to be hitting it with the illusions. They're maybe going to be hitting it if they can kill them all, but Fnatic's been playing it a little bit too safe for that.
I mean, I'm a Fnatic's #1 fan now. Every time I watch them play, they give us these kind of games. The 70-minute plus.
I mean, the last time it was one of these games, it didn't end well for Fnatic. I'll say
That is true.
This one might not end well for them too, but it's looking much better for now.
I don't know. I think this is a really hard spot for Fnatic because for the first time in a while, all three of the lanes are pushed heavily in WWE's favor.
Yeah.
And that's when you have to start worrying about like your tier 3s getting chipped down. Like for a long time, they were able to keep the creep wave away from their base. But as soon as they lose those 2 cores, no one wants to commit buyback at this stage in the game just to try to go fight Roche against Naga. Like, there's a good chance they just song and run away and then you've wasted your buyback. So because you don't commit that buyback, they get Roche, they get cheese, and now you're sitting there going, well, now we're kind of back to ground zero because we're sitting inside of our base and we can't make any moves without WG noticing it. That's why it's hectic, because it's like, oh crap, now we're actually stuck in our base.
And it also goes back to the situation that you mentioned, I think, I don't know, 30 minutes ago, where Storm gets to choose a lane that he goes to for a pick. Like right here, Demon gets caught.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got a Glimmer Cave, but it's going to run out relatively soon. Does he have vision?
Spots him? Yeah, he's gone. Yeah, I mean, Demon was doing a good job trying to cut the creep wave for a long time, and he was hanging out up top here as well. But I mean, it's so hard to play against the Storm at this point. Like,
Yeah, it is.
Oh, he bought his most of his refresher before he died, so...
Yeah. I mean, Double Rock is still a very dangerous thing to play against if you get a good Fatal Bonds off.
he doesn't have buyback.
I mean,
I can't do anything with it though, I guess.
it's 50 seconds. It's not that long. It's like maybe less than 2 creep waves worth of time.
Again, I think it's more so WG can't really siege that well. So it's like, yeah, we got
Yeah,
that.
that's also a thing. But the best scenario is always for them to have the waves pushed so that the Naga Siren illusions can start dealing damage. That's the main way they actually siege.
Oh my god, my camera work with this guy, it's like putting on a clinic.
Double click on his portrait.
Yeah, you just double click on Nana and you just watch him do stuff. That's what I'm gonna do, actually.
He's going to be the only one that makes the moves, probably.
Well, he's the one who's been making the
yeah.
moves. They haven't all been good moves, but
All right,
you know, he's
we're
made
getting
them.
there. Fnatic actually have some decent ways to control and kill now. The Basher, the Abyssal Blade's up.
Yeah.
I don't know if he has enough inventory where you put a Blink on top of that too. Probably not. It looks like he dropped the Diffusal Blade instead of the Battle Fairy, which I think it makes a bit more sense. The Diffusal Blade could take off the Bloodthorn, which is pretty excellent, but
He's got Manta for that too.
yeah.
I think the biggest part of it is the Abyssal Blade and the Diffusal basically serve the same purpose at this stage in the game. Where
Just
he
control.
doesn't, yeah, it's control, and he doesn't need the Dispel anymore from the Diffusal Blade, whereas earlier it was a much better item.
Well, Mushi's moving in now. They do have vision over here. This
Why is there a creep?
place.
Why is there a creep in like the woods?
Blinding Light, maybe?
Okay. That is really weird.
I mean, it has to be Blinding Light, right? But
No,
that's-
it's 1400 HP, right? Somebody dominated it and is scouting with it. Is it a BOT2 beacon or something?
Yeah. Oh my
Oh,
god.
it is, yeah, it is.
Dude, that is a play.
Those are some sick plays. Mushi is there. He's found Nana. Can they find the catch? It's not going to be there. Yule Scepter lift up on the axe, and I think that is going to be brought down now. Omni Slash used. Bot level 2 play, but top lane is being sieged at the same time, so they need to come back and defend against this. They've already used a lot of their bots.
Wait, did they not actually have TPs for this?
They don't. They bought it down to the creep.
They TP out? Yeah.
Oh, no. All right. Well, I don't think it's going to matter, though.
All right, Ohio. Now's your time, dude. Okay. Maybe it's not your time. Maybe soon.
I mean, it doesn't matter in the sense that the tower's still up, but it definitely took a lot of damage, so...
Yeah.
Wait, who actually even has a helm on Fnatic side? I guess Juggernaut probably bought it and just, like, put it on the ground or something.
Dominated and then...
Yeah.
But don't you lose the creep when you sell the dom?
You don't sell it, you just put it on the ground or on your courier.
Yeah, it's on the courier here. It is Ohio's.
Okay.
Oh yeah, they have 2 couriers, that's why. I guess when you get to 60 minutes in, you start buying more than 1 courier.
TP boots in on Tanana, but he's going to jump away. That Storm Spirit late game is so good.
Is the MVP creep still alive?
He actually doesn't have mana right now, though, and
Hexes?
turns to Hex. Needs to regen up a little bit more, and
He's got recall. He's got recall. If you get Yules?
Oh. He had Lincoln still, I think.
Okay.
yeah.
And Ohio doesn't have Yules anymore because he has BKB. So he only had 1 item to break Lincoln's. And he
By the
couldn't.
way, Kado's got Hex. This is what I'm talking about earlier. Your supports start going late game Hexes.
He has almost the same. He has almost the same amount of net worth as Mushi. How is that a thing?
I mean, the game is 65 minutes long, and Mushi is not farm priority.
Jeez.
Dude, once you have Axe on Kato, you just, you know, you walk by a camp, okay, this one's mine.
Yeah, and they're finding these wards as well.
I think once Hexes come up, WG's back in the lead again in terms of taking this game, because
It's, I mean...
But what if the Ogre gets his Hex, or Aghanim's? And then Jimmy gets a Hex because he's got Refresher.
Alright, Refresher Hex is legit.
I mean, Refresher Golem Hex is
Hex
not.
on the Storm Spirit, controlled, in trouble, where's the help?
multi?
It's not there! He's gone.
Okay. I was back at 50.
That's what we call dunked. Just everything to Storm.
Can Fnatic push? I mean, they're going to try. But
I mean,
can they
it's
actually
still
push?
Naga, but like, it's so hard to do anything to this.
It's not even just Naga anymore. It's
Yeah.
the Coddle as well.
I like
She had
how-
15,000 gold in her bank right now.
I like how 66 minutes in the game, one of the mid-core dies. We're like, hey, there's no excitement. It's like, is Fnatic going to do anything?
I mean, the mids are actually just completely different in regards to how much they actually offer their teams.
Right.
Like Mushi is pretty much a blink hex, and you know Nana is just Nana. He's literally just insane.
The catapults are getting a little bit hard to deal with, but they'll be able to get the pull through with these illusions. And yeah, Storm's back up again now. Like, this is feeling like it might be one of those games that
You know, you guys know I'm down for this.
hangs out
Lumi
for a
is
little while.
always down for the 85-hour games.
Is that Commando Creep still alive, by the way?
Nah, oh yeah, it is. It
Yeah,
is.
okay.
Oh, no, wait, that's a
Still
ward. JK.
No, the Creep is still there.
Afu again? Yeah, he's found him.
All right.
Poor Rubik. In some trouble now. Lift,
He's got phase
steals.
shift. He's got phase shift. He can phase and blink out.
Lotus.
Lotus phase?
Oh. He tried.
Yeah.
Well, do they have a creep wave? They do have a rather large one.
Yeah, but look at
Yeah,
mid.
but there's a tier 2 mid. They can't actually take the racks. They have to go top.
Yeah.
I mean, they can walk through the base all the way to top. I mean, they can do that, but...
Ooh. Nana has the MKB. He's like, guys, I need to start hitting something.
Well, they're turning on to Ohio now. He bought his Necrobook 3.
Double
And
hands.
they are on top of him. Ooh, they
Down,
bring
there.
him down. BKB popped, but still Ohio.
Dead, right?
Yeah, he's going to fall. But they're taking it in on
Oh, are they,
base now.
are they trying to go? There's no way.
Oh, fall on to 2. That's pretty good. Their Milos is there as well. Nana very low on mana. They drop the rock onto him, though. They're doing a ton of damage for Muji. Fatal Bonds. The computer is crashing, but it looks like so is Warriors Game and Unity. They buy back on the Nagasire. Oh, excuse me, just the Rubik. But the Storm is dead.
Where's the acceptor for that song? That would have been great there.
She needs to refresh right now.
Oh,
They're going for it.
oh my god.
This is so ham. The Storm has buyback still.
They can go into this. I think that Warriors Gaming are okay with this. If they can kill him here,
No, they gotta run. They gotta run.
buyback from the Storm. They're on top of him on the 2. They don't have Warlock ulti any further. I don't believe. Now his refresher's back at home and on cooldown anyways. Nex is there. Puck is gone. And now AU has fallen as well. Double for Nana and Ohio controlled. Trying to bring down X Nova. It's not going to happen. Bloodthorn brings him down to the ground as well. 4 are dead. And Fnatic right now are lacking a couple buybacks. They don't have it on Jug. They don't have it on Timber. They're going for 100 seconds. This might be game even. Call. Warlock gone as well.
Yeah, this is probably game. The Timber and the Jug are dead for more than a minute and a half.
Alright, Naga just bought Divine. Alright, we finally have some damage on building. Let's go,
I
boys.
don't even think he needs it at this point. I mean, even with the buybacks, Jimmy doesn't have Refresher or Rock.
I mean, Fatal Bond is...
They're
Fatal Bond,
gonna
I
lose
guess.
their whole base. Like, there's no way.
Yeah, I think they did it.
I think it's game.
Warriors Gaming Unity. 70 minutes in and hitting tier 4's no great answer.
Wait, Warlock does have Refresher.
He does.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
he hasn't. It's it
No,
just
no,
came up.
it's
It just came
good.
up.
But
But I mean,
Doja.
it's one rock. They're gonna save us.
They're gonna try to fight it.
Oh, they jump onto him though.
They even have songs.
Stun, silence, glimmer, demon low is going to miss uphill.
Look at Ajit.
Trying
It's
to
just
stay
objective
alive.
gaming with that Divine.
Yeah, they call it GG. Well played. Warriors game in Unity. The Thriller, 70 minutes in. What do you guys think? Then who's taking game number 3 here?
I mean, I wouldn't use the word thriller to describe this game.
Nana is crazy.
Nana is crazy, but I mean, he played the way that he had to play given the circumstances of the game. I feel because if you just like AFK passively farm and you're not trying to force some pressure on the map, then you're not. There's actually the hardest hero to kill for them. Yeah. So I don't think they want to do that. I mean, the tower is a safer play. They got book 1 out too, so there's no reason to go for any crazy stuff.
Oh.
Especially.
Nova doesn't hit the Maledict, but going to drop the ulti nonetheless, trying to bring him low, but not there.
If he hit the Maledict, maybe not.
I think it's only level 2 still.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only level 2.
Well, a bit of an odd game, but it does feel like Warriors Gaming are taking down all these towers, putting themselves in a good position as the board for the Witch Doctor. They find the kill.
Radiant's top tower is under
And
attack.
Demon also left alone. The rest of the team is gone. He's gonna try. Yep, Omni Flash used and he's dead.
That was an Omni. It looked like he could have maybe made out too.
That was calculated, dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
He had those like calculus symbols behind his head as he's going in.
Some goodwill hunting going on in his head when he did that.
How do you like them apples? That's the line, right?
I actually got the
think so.
reference.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that movie in a very long time, actually.
It's not your fault that you haven't seen it. Do you get that one?
When he's crying and be like, it's not your fault. Your fault.
Well, bottom lane, Mushi again getting ready to push down this tower with Ohio here. If anybody shows up, it's like, again,
Radiant's
instant
bottom
death.
tower is under
Well, the Tinker
attack.
has Blink, so we can shift you the Blink. Maybe. Be alright.
I don't know if you want to do it even with the storm.
They're actually
against the storm.
They're smoked up as 4. A lot of pings.
Okay, they're coming in. They found Ohio first.
Roar down. Well, Razor is also going to go out. Laser dropped. Ohio's dead. And also Coconut's starting to bounce around. They drop the Witch Doctor ulti. And AU gone.
Okay.
Tower defended. Oh, never mind. It wasn't defended, it's dead. But Hero's killed.
There you go.
I mean, having a Tinker and having all your tier 1s alive at 15 minutes and only losing that one just now, that's pretty much the dream for Warriors Gaming.
So what about the Storm laking though? Like I always hear is Storm just this indomitable force against the Tinker who just dismantles him. Is that really the case in this type
I mean,
of
he
game?
is one of the hardest counters to Tinker, it's true. But if you're playing a Storm from behind against Tinker, it's not always the case. Mainly you want like Orchid and Bloodstone. Those are the two things. And if you do manage to get to Shiva's, it's nice because you can use it to scout him when you're balling into the trees, because most of the time that's where the Tinker's going to be. He's not going to be standing in lane. He's going to be like blinking into patches of trees to try to hide.
Right.
If you can get that core set of items and a Tinker's not like massively far ahead of you, then yeah, the Storm is going to wreck him.
Well, so we need to get vision. Looks like Taunt's gonna hit, but the clap might be there as well. The rock though, canceling the clap, and now they're gonna get one. The clap is still coming through.
Oh, so close.
Well, the Earth Splitter goes onto Ohio, catches him there, but Ana does pop out the laser onto Mushi. He's running through the March of the Machines as well. Raven and Ohio still in the jungle, but they can blink out of here in just a couple seconds if they don't want to stick around. Yeah, nice blink away. Looks like Ursa and everybody else will get away with murder. Juggernaut going down.
Yeah, so the interaction between Storm and Tinker that Andy was talking about earlier, I think Beastmaster makes it more complicated for the Storm. Like, he might need to consider getting a Lincoln somewhere down the line, even before finishing that Shiva's. So he doesn't succumb to, a random roar, he just dies. So, it's going to be a tough Storm game, in my opinion, for Mushi.
Well, it's always hard when you're the one who has to do the majority of the heavy lifting. That's a stressful situation for a Storm to be in, because you're always committing a lot of mana to getting kills, because you have to go for core kills in this game. Like killing a Witch Doctor or killing an EP is always going to be nice, but ideally you want to be taking out, Nana. He's probably priority number 1 at this stage in the game, because he's not farmed enough yet to be able to, get himself out of those sticky situations. So if you find him, it's pretty much always going to be a kill.
Actually, I was just saying, Beastmaster, sure, I guess what you're scared about, but
he's a trump card, yeah. But the other part of it too is you're not always going to have the Beastmaster sitting behind the Tinker when he's TPing to lanes.
No, the other thing that he needs to worry about is also the Outer Titan. Once you get the Yules on him, you could get a good enough combo where you Yules into a Stomp.
Yeah.
And that also is a Storm killer, so Mushi, lots of things to worry about, lots of things on his shoulder. Can he lift his team?
That's a tough one. And again, like, I haven't seen a ton of Mushi Storm Spirit before. Not to say, obviously, that he's never played it, or, I'm sure he's played it a ton, but there's that level of comfort, particularly through these qualifiers if you haven't played it a lot, where you run into a bit of it's a hard, there's intricacies with those heroes about, mana movement and all the nerfs that's gotten over the years.
I mean, if this is old Storm, this game would be over already. That's how crazy that hero was.
Yeah. Oh, book 3 is done for the Necro, or for the Beastmaster. It's getting late here, guys.
This is the first series, man.
I mean, technically, we weren't supposed to have a series right now, I don't think,
That's
right?
true.
Because this is the one that was supposed to be played yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, and Ursa's going back for, I'm assuming that this is going to be the Basher.
Might need to like go early MKB.
So
I know this is not MKB, but
Nah, you don't need MKB early, I think. Because you
I guess maybe BKB is better if you're.
Yeah, BKB Abyssal is definitely better. Because the heroes on WG aren't innately tanky, it's just that they have lockdown to, that's where their strength comes from. So yeah, this is going to be the Basher.
Actually, maybe Axe is better than BKB, right? Because you're still gonna get roared.
That's
Yeah,
the thing.
but Axe lets you break through it. The downside is that if you go for Aghanims,
They'll just layer the disables.
well, they could layer the disable, but also just, you get march, like 2 marches, and your enrage wears off, and you just die running out of it. Okay, like, BKB just stops all that kind
I think
of
what we're trying to get at is it's a tough Ursa game as well.
Every game is a tough Ursa game.
That's why I don't understand why teams like pick him.
Stunned into the sleep. I don't know if they're going to go for this, but the Earth Splitter is going to connect onto Raven, and just dodged. The Kangaroo jumped in. He's actually left alone now. Mushi is on top of him. They dropped the golems as well onto Apu, and the Tinker still running through the march. Ohio's taking so much damage from that, and he is going to die. The Witch Doctor ulti. Apu's still alive. That natural order doing a lot in this fight, but he is going to go down. Ajit turns around, tries to bring him down, takes down one. He's going to fall. And Ajit needs to run away from here before he ends up dropping. Ludo Restoration, doing a decent amount.
The Spirit's gonna find Demon, and he's gonna get clapped. That's gonna be another kill for the team. Casket not bouncing, but they don't really need it.
Oh, that
Big crit here for Ajit. And how low is Roche? Can Radiant? Yeah, Radiant could just go back in. They still got the healing.
They have buyback on Ohio, but I don't think Mushi has enough mana to fight. He needs to run back to base and TP if they're gonna do this. They think they just lost Roche.
This is really starting to feel like Warriors Gaming are on a roll, and I mean Fnatic, a team that was people were thinking was going to get the direct invite to the major is now, I mean, not yet, but coming closer to getting knocked out of this.
I mean, that fight was just unfortunate. When they first went in, it seemed like they were going to do really well because they managed to take out Kangaroo relatively early. And then what happened was Raven got his enrage baited by the Jug because he was going into Omni, but he cancel cast a spell. So he enrages and then walks away. And then like 10 seconds later, he comes back into the team fight when Omni's still up, but he doesn't have his enrage. So he just gets hit by like 2 or 3 Omni slash hits and then just explodes. And Nana's positioning along with the Witch Doctor was also spectacular.
Oh, they get Storm here. Sees him a little bit. Roar's gonna fly out here. Cloud's gonna follow through it. And Storm, he is dead.
Oh my goodness, I thought that they might have spotted him, but AU now turned upon as well. He's going to end up dropping, I believe. Well, Rocket goes out, play 3 forward. Yeah, AU's gone. And no way to follow it up. Ursa can't do anything. And man, it's like one of those moments where you're like falling backwards and it feels like Warriors Gaming are just pushing Fnatic in the chest.
I think it's more like Fnatic or a turtle right now on their back. I think that's a more apt description. The problem is they just, Mushi doesn't have enough. Like, he only has Bloodstone at 22 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes from now, the average, like, Bloodstone Orchid timing that you want, he should just have his whole Orchid in the next, 3 minutes, which obviously isn't going to happen. And that's what allows you to kill the Tinker. That's what allows you to have that impact in the game. But Nana goes for preemptive Yules to ensure that even if there is an Orchid on Mushi, he'll always be able to get himself out.
Yeah, I mean, the Yules being refreshed against the Nursa, good luck. Like, you're just in there the whole time.
Ooh. And again, Kangaroo spotting this out. Roar going to be off cooldown again. Actually, they didn't break the smoke yet, so he just spots Mushi.
They have a sentry. Okay.
Well, the Dire Scan saw them, so Mushi's going in.
Fnatic is there. They dropped the Earth Splitter as well. Onto him. Oh, taking some damage. The rockets dropped, but I'm not sure it's enough. Raven is on top of the Tinker, so they find a kill on him. Witch Doctor ulti's still going, but he's gone in 3 swipes. And he was getting chased down, but Ajit actually needs to get out of here. Omni Slash is going to be available when he comes back from the Aegis.
Here's the Stomp.
Lining it up.
Okay. Ajit just gonna run away. Here comes the Ursa again, but the boars are controlling him. Nice Yules.
He doesn't have Enrage for 20.
Okay, it looks like that's at the end of it.
Actually, no, they're gonna go for a little
Blink.
bit more. Yeah.
Oh, they're still running out of there.
How did they get the Tinker? Was he the first one to get jumped?
He got jumped on by Raven.
Yeah, he was out of position and got bashed.
Okay.
So he just got swiped to death. That was a really good fight from Fnatic though. When Mushi got roared at the beginning, it looked really bad. In reality, it ended up being the reason why Nana got caught, because he goes in to throw spells on Mushi to make sure that he dies, which in turn opens up a chance for, you know, Raven to spot him. He blinks in, gets a lucky bash, kills the Tinker, and that's pretty much what allowed the fight to go favorably for Fnatic. Because the Tinker actually does more in the fight right now for WG than what Mushi does for Fnatic.
I feel like despite winning that engagement pretty handily, I think like Storm had to live that fight to really feel the effects, right? Because he now is losing Bloodstone charges again. Yeah. And Ajit even died a second time, so it was just an Aegis kill. And I think WG is right back in it.
Yeah, definitely. And I think a big part of it too is the vision advantage that they have. Like the Spirit in combination with the Hawk, like that kill that happens mid on the Storm Spirit here, I don't think that they find, like, I don't think that Fnatic lose that if they had vision in that area. Obviously it's not going to happen, but like the nighttime gank that came about from them and, you know, good use of scans, it feels like Warriors game are making really good use of the vision.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole reason why you want the Beastmaster in the first place when you have Tinker. Yeah. The heroes are like phenomenal synergy.
They're
together.
just going high ground.
Yeah. No rock for a while, so.
Do they have TPs? They have a couple of them on cooldown. Warlock doesn't have his for another 10 seconds. And they're gonna TP in Nana. They're getting set up on the low ground.
This is a really hard fight to engage into.
Yeah, look at the march.
Oh my god. Well, jump forward from Mushi. But wow, the tier 3's just gone.
I mean, this is one of the problems that you run into against Tinker when you have so much melee. And by so much, I mean like 3 melee who have to really go in and be on the front line, is March just destroys you. Because you have to commit to the fight super hard, and you're running through this, you know, double march, sometimes even triple march when it gets later into the game. And you just can't sustain. Because you get your target kill maybe, but on the retreat is when you actually start losing heroes.
It's not just the melee too, and being the support player, I say this from first-hand experience, when your cores run in, as a support you kind of have to follow, at least to a certain degree. You're also running through the march because the AoE is so big, so...
Then you have to rely on, like, the march gets eaten if you get hit. Yeah, so you gotta, like, stand behind the core.
You're trying to do Tetris, like, in the middle of team fight, which is pretty hard stuff.
What do you think that Raven is going for here with the Staff of Wizard? He's going back for the Ags. Alright.
Yeah. I mean, Aghanims is a good choice. I still think BKB is maybe slightly better.
I think he just wants both.
I mean, yeah, you both, of course, but I think that the BKB is a cheaper option, and it's also a more stable option. I guess the price doesn't really matter, though. It's like, what, 200 and some odd gold difference?
And, well, they jumped forward again and roared up. Mushi gonna get brought down. And it just can't happen.
That's a 4-charge blow. That's just painful.
They have the tools to deal with them. And they have the tools to deal with the Ursa. Like, everything's just there. And in the middle of the team fights, again, like, Yule Scepter, even from the Tinker, is just going to cause so much trouble for Raven.
Basically, they need, like, a lucky bash on Ursa on the Tinker as they're going on him.
He has a Ghost and a Yule's.
Right, yeah. They need Rocket Bash, right, just basically to control the Tinker. But that's just luck dependent. I don't know if they're going to find that.
Oh, Nana there on top of him, starting to lay out the march. That's all they need from him at this point. Ranged Barracks is gone.
Dude, the Ogre's just dying.
This is... Oh my god, they're gonna lose a lane of Barracks. Fnatic are already losing their entire base and keep on throwing it out.
The Tinker's out of mana, they have to attack.
They're jumping forward from Mushi to kill off the Necro books, but...
Yeah, they need the book to be able to do that, though. Or maybe they just need the Tinker back, we'll see. If Ajit's feeling comfortable enough to walk high ground, I guess he does have mana. Yeah, he can probably do it.
Nana's there. They're going forward. Marching machines.
Tinker blinks on CD right now because of the Ignite. But yeah, they kind of disengage for a while. Heals.
I mean, they can do this almost indefinitely. They're not putting anyone at risk. And because of the Hawk vision as well. Oh, I guess they got the one in the base. But
yeah, Fnatic needs to smoke and go around, but look at the Hawk positioning. They're already preparing for that.
Yeah, they're pinging it out though. I think they might have spotted something over there. The other thing too is, like, honestly, Afu in this instance also just being a great counter initiation force with the ET. Like, he's great at taking high ground as well.
Yeah, it's getting to make or break territory here.
Alright, Necrobook's out again.
Their ward just died too.
Hey, taking some damage. They're throwing out the march. Mushi is brought down to half HP with that one. And well, Nana's just over there to the side. They take it down, and now they should be able to get out.
Man, Fnatic they need to go for a wraparound. They cannot fight head on. Like, they need to catch something on the back line. It can be a support, it can be Beastmaster, like anyone, honestly, at this point is good. They just need to kill a hero to force WG back. If they try to go head on and just sit inside of their base like that and let Nana continually spam marches, they're never going to be able to fight like that. They have to get outside of their base and make something happen on the map. I mean, Ohio has, what, a 10-second BKB?
Yeah, I think they're actually hoping that they get time to get the Ursa Axe finished before that the commit of
Oh
the
my
fight.
god, he's got E-Blade.
Oh, jeez.
This is going to be a nightmare for Ursa.
All right, well, they do have Kangaroo on the high ground scouting out Raven right now. They see the entire Fnatic team, and, well, they're going to zip forward to pick up a regen rune for Mushi. But, I don't know, it just feels like Warriors Gaming are all over him.
They really are. I mean, you gotta hand it to him. They've played a very methodical game.
Yeah.
What a difference in terms of playstyle.
Oh,
Missing the call. Remember game 2, you guys just calling Nana crazy, right? This game, he's just playing the complete 180.
Yeah.
Just being super safe.
I mean, we were saying it kind of half-jokingly.
Right. But he is very aggressive in that game too, right? On the
Yeah.
Storm. But this time, not really getting out too much. And
he played the way he needed to in that game, too.
Yeah.
With the Naga Siren. Like, the Naga Siren was the person that was there to be, like, sort of that steadying force, keeping the lanes pressured out, which allowed Nana to play very aggressively. And in this game, like, they need him to be that steadying force and then have the Beastmaster there to hit the towers, the Necro books.
I mean, and I guess the 10-second BKB on Ohio and Mushi having the Orchid is going to be the go here for Fnatic. And, well, could be a bloodbath coming here.
Let's see if they can take the tier 1 tower. They got Warlock ulti as well.
Oh, that's a pretty good rune.
Yeah.
man, this Elder Titan pick has been such a thorn on this side. You know, with Storm and Ursa just want to get in, but
It's actually owning them.
yeah.
And it's the way they play around it very well.
The thing is, as Axe, you really want to jump in, and the Storm wants to jump in with the Axe. And Elder Titan just makes that, like, impossible.
It's like, sure, I invite you to come in.
It's the best person to You might put it on the Jug, yeah, because the Jug has to walk high ground.
Okay.
And I don't think they're actually very scared of the Storm when you have E-Blade duels on Tinker. Like, how is Mushi gonna kill Nana? How is he gonna kill anyone?
I don't know.
Whoever he jumps just gets E-Bladed, right?
Yeah. Well, and Witch Doctor has his own Ghost Scepter now too. Like,
I mean, Nana's even getting close to his next item. It could be Hex, could be Aghanims, doesn't really matter. It's just what he feels is good. Hex, I think, might be the item.
all right, smoke forward. Now they jump onto one. It is going to be onto the Juggernaut, but BKB already popped, trying to find Ahu on the back lane. They found the Tinker, and he's going to get for the E-Blade, keeping himself alive. Omni Slash onto Ohio. He's gone. Scepter lift up for Mushi. They do drop the rock, but doesn't look like it's nearly enough damage. Ursa was able to kill off the Witch Doctor on the back line, but now he will Scepter lift up Apu looking for the catch. Is he going to find it? He does. And now the follow forward with the roar. He's out of there. 3 dead from Fnatic.
Playing against Beastman or Tinker has got to be like the worst stuff you can do.
And Warriors Gaming Unity trying to punch their way to a ticket for a fight for Boston. I think that they might have just knocked Fnatic out of the qualifiers.
Yeah, there's no buyback on the Ursa. They're going to get another set of racks for sure, and there's no tier 2 top, so...
Juxta's Aegis, they're not even done here. They're going to continue and go off with more. Okay. Storm is going to try to do what he can, but with his pitiful manifold. Not really sure what he can do. The March is going to come out. Healing Ward just got mowed down. The Raxas are soon to follow.
They actually didn't get the melee effects spent on the breach side. So they're going to get the tier 3 here.
Okay, are they going to go back
Axe
mid?
is up, misses the call. Yeah, they're going to go back mid, I think.
Oh, E-Blade combo. Comes out. Back in. Tinker still alive. Dual Scepters off the battle. Tinker is chasing him, and Mushi still in the midst of all of this. He's going to try and get away. They've still got eyes on Barrack, so they're spending all this time on the Tinker. But
Got the duck.
okay, one down.
Jug still has ace.
In the meantime, Healing Ward's down. Tinker's now back in the fight. Oh my god, Ohio doesn't catch anything with that call. A second one, though, is going to be pretty good. My god, the damage. Bonds onto him. The buyback from the Storm, that might be enough to turn this back into their favor.
Just super low. Maybe they can kill him. No, they're gonna go for the Tinker first. Tinker, that's a buyback. Yeah, maybe they can actually hold the base. Ajit, the Omni Slash gonna go for overrack. He does, and looks like Ajit will die, but he
does have the Aegis. The question is, can they kill him with the Aegis? They have the axe back.
If he's
They
just
can
going to
call
go for
him.
the racks, right? Does he suicide? Oh no, he's going to run. Okay.
Where's the axe? Where's the call?
That's not Mega
He
Creeps.
bought back for this.
He's going to send those
Did he not
illusions
have a
back to
TP?
Blanket.
He didn't have a TP.
Oh,
I thought he was going to actually go for the range axe. I suppose it's kind of dangerous. Well, actually, it's not that dangerous.
I mean,
They have tier 1s. But I mean, if he gets that, it's Megas, right? Yeah. I think if he had spin, he might have tried to kill them. But he didn't have spin when he came up with the Aegis, so it's too hard to kill.
It's still so many buybacks that it's barely like any gold back in their pockets.
Yeah.
The big thing is that Tinker doesn't have buyback, but he's going to be back up and online in 40 seconds. So 25,000 net worth lead, right around 10,000 experience. Is this a lineup from Fnatic that can handle Mega Creeps, or if they take that last barracks?
Not really.
no, they cannot handle Mega Creeps.
I mean, they don't have really great wave clear in general. It's pretty much Axe and Storm. That's the majority of your damage output. It's looking really rough for Fnatic right now. Looking like we might see a team go home.
Well, a really rough one indeed for all the Fnatic fans out there, and I mean, obviously for the team as well. It's backs up against the wall. We'll see if they can make it happen, but at this point, it's really going to take a miracle.
This is on the Mineski team.
Come on, bro. The low-hanging fruit. Thought you were better than this. You know that thing that people have in their mind where it like stops them from saying certain things? Luby doesn't have that.
Neither does Jackie, so...
Yeah, that's actually true.
Oh, AU, the Fire Blast is there. They jump onto him. Rock is dropped only onto one hero, but still okay. And now Paladin, oh god, which is there. They're taking him down, but in the front line,
There goes the rack, by the way.
Juggernaut is going to turn back around. Omni flash onto everybody. Mushi's gone. Demon is probably going to drop as well, as Ajit has no chill. Maybe going to take down AU here as well. Tinker's in the midst of all of them. Oh my god, triple for the Jug. He's looking for the Rampage. He wants it. Ultra's there. And GG gets called. Warriors Gaming Unity knock out Fnatic in the lower bracket first round.
Man, Fnatic were looking a lot better during the group stages, I gotta say. I mean, I don't know if this game... To me, it kind of was the draft.